ask for truth like it's a test. I taste so good though when I lie. You love me best when I comply. I'm your lust, I'm your sin. You wear me like a second skin. You were so cute, you were so brave, but I became what you would crave. Chain my throat, chain my hands, burn me with your sacred brand. Chain my legs, chain my heart, make my soul your work of art. Just ain't good enough. Hate me, hurt me. Change your hands, burn you with my devil's brand. Change your legs, change your heart, I made you so my work of art. Hate me, drink me, hate me, hurt me. I showed you every part of me. I never hid what I could be. You thought your last could set you free, but now you just belong to me. You saw the lie, you saw the cost. You loved it when I called you boss. You chose the thrill, you chose the loss. Now you're nailed up to your cross. I never took, you only gave. All I was is what you crave. Say it's normal, say it's fine. Say you're lucky now, say you're mine. Drink me. Take your turn, hit me hard, watch you burn. Hit me, drink me, did all. Hit me, hurt me, enjoy your Drink me, hate me, hurt me. Dream me, drink me. Say it's normal, say it's fine. Say you're lucky now, say you're
Oh, yes, best chat. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to some delicious, malicious morning nonsense chat. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. What a fantastic, fantastic weekend, chat. It was awesome and amazing. And all the great things that I always hope that best chat has. And that's, of course, the best. Welcome back, chat. It's Monday morning. Fantastic, brand new spanking Monday, chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope we're having a great morning so far. Oh, a great morning so far. There's been some interesting developments going on. Let's check them out. Let's check them out, chat. Should be pretty fun. Let's see here. Here we go. Get this all done, ready to go in order. Fantastic. All right. We got some. I was trying to find the stuff on that Lesbian Night video game that I have, but I can't find them all. But I do know this stuff. I do know what's been going on. It's been kind of funny. Because they were so braggadocious about their supposed support. They were so they're trying to destroy They went after all the gamers, dude bros as they call them, all that stuff. They tried to say, oh, we don't need you. We have the modern audience. Modern audience, by the way, Chad, did not show up. They did not show up. Which would be one thing. Like, okay, what's an indie game? Is it like what are the numbers for an indie game, right? It just doesn't really matter. But the thing is, it does matter. And that's kind of why I did find some stuff on it that I did save. But thing is, there is a specific little piece of information that they did put out that really really does make this incredibly embarrassing for them. I'm trying to see if I can find it, but it's just lost in all this stuff. But I'll check it out, chat. We'll check it out in a little bit here. But welcome back. Welcome to a new Morning Nonsense Chat. Hello to you. Caller Pedisa says, good morning, LD and Best Chat. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Is anyone live Best Chat? It's a rough start today. Hopefully the rest of the week will not be the same. Hopefully not. I gotta know what you're talking about. I think we all had those days, but man, they hit home. But I got some good news. If all things go well today, then I should be able to, I should be able to get a new video out as soon as earliest tomorrow, maybe. Probably Wednesday. I'll probably get that video out finally done Wednesday, and I can get to then everything else can start falling into place. But yeah, hopefully that'd be something cool to look forward to. It's going to be like 45 minutes long, but I had fun writing it, had fun doing research for it, even had fun editing it, but it's still tiring, still pretty exhausting. All things get better for you, Chronic Ketchel. We have a great week great week in the future and a great day so far. But we will try to be entertaining for now and make it at least a little bit better. Hello, Hatsaba. My folks, turns out the Lesbian Night game failed. Yeah, I mean, it's like it was catastrophic. I mean, it wasn't just like, oh, the numbers are not as good as they thought they were. No, it's not anything like that at all. It's like they were expecting a whole new league of people. They're expecting, according to them, that's why I'm trying to look for this piece of information. But they were asserting that they were going to have like 250,000 people like jump on day one. Turns out it wasn't really that much, right? It wasn't really that much. Let's see. Let me get this here. We'll go down that road in a little bit here. Is this it? Let me see. I found the only. By the way, spoiler alert, they only opened up to like 400 people, as opposed to 250,000, which I can't seem to find. I can't seem to find that piece of information. I wish I could. Let's see. There we go. Here we go. Let's see. There we go. Get your coffee. Hello to you. Anyway, I'm looking forward to the Crimson Desert. See, Crimson Desert, I have been actually hearing about. I've been hearing that the Crimson Desert has been doing a pretty good job. It's a, it's like a kind of a Skyrim sort of, as far as I can tell, like an open world. It's got all this stuff in there. It looks pretty cool. I did like the what I've seen in there. It looks like one of those big, hefty open world games. Which, by the way, Chad, did you know that open world games are fascist? Unless there was an article or anything. But I did see this. That it might be a new assertion floating around. That's going to be the next big thing, right? It might be in the trenches now. By trenches, I mean like the forums online, because the forums online, that's where it begins, and then it kind of erupts into the mainstream, because the mainstream seek the forums to get ideas, I think. But that's kind of what happened. This is floating around now. I've been seeing a little bit more that everything is fascist, including open world games. Anyway, chat. Anyway, we'll get you coffee. Hello to you. Sketch XR says, good morning, LD and Bez Chat. We may not have God and Sinners sweep be won at the Oscars last night, but at least Frankenstein got 3 awards, and K-pop Demon Hunters got a big award too. It's according to what I think it's let's see, what was it? Prince of Egypt. Was that DreamWorks? Prince of Egypt. It's because I saw that Prince of Egypt, it was the only one that was not like a big company, like one of the 2 big major companies we have out there, that was an animated film that won an award. And now, but now it was like the only one for a long time. But now we have um Prince of Egypt and K-pop Demon Hunters, and it's a pretty good award, and it kind of deserved it. It was really good. It was really good. And that's how you actually appeal to a female audience, because not not every not every girl wants to see. In fact, very few girls want to see just frumpy characters hating on men, right? Girls kind of they tend to be boy crazy. Like as much as the feminist weirdos hate the idea and have been trying to push against it, girls are boy crazy. And so not only the K-pop Demon Hunters kind of feed into that, like where they kind of said, hey, we're going to make the boy band, the evil boy band, incredibly attractive and everything. They give one there's this guy named Abs in there. But also they use that to give them a good message. All right, it's kind of how it's supposed to be. It's right. So, and of course, the regular hero's journey is that there's a temptation test eventually they come up to. Now, the traditional temptation test is the succubus, the temptress for a man. That's usually how it goes. Now, did the same thing here. K-pop Demon Hunters, they added in like the attractive, seductor, I guess we could say. Demon. It was even a demon. Attractive seductor. A whole band full of them. Like each girl got like their own love interest. Technically speaking, their own demon love interest. Now, what they also did was they didn't say this was a good thing, right? They didn't say like this is what they're supposed to be doing, and they made it glamorous and luxurious. They didn't do that. They made them enemies, right? They made them enemies, and not in a all men are evil sort of way, because how that bounces out is they interact with other guys in the movie, and they treat them fairly, treat them fine, like everything else is fine. So it's not demonizing men. In fact, they kind of warn in that movie to be wary of your empathy, girls, because the girls have the really strong, powerful, sometimes suicidal empathy. And K-pop Demon Hunters kind of addresses that. Like, hey, okay, the main girl is feeling sorry for demons now because, oh no, but what if they're just like that one guy that I'm in love with? What if they were also tricked and trapped into becoming demons? And turns out that the movie's like, no, they were not tricked. No one was tricked. They're demons because they're evil. All right. The main guy is a demon because he traded away his family for goods and luxury. Okay. That's why. So yeah, he deserves to be a demon, but there's always the idea of redemption as well, which he kind of gains at the end. But it's the tragedy of it all. It kind of adds to the tragedy that he's a demon, she's a demon hunter, she's part demon. So maybe we can kind of get the idea that there's not every single demon is evil because she's not evil. She just happens to be part of it, but part demon. Then we find out that no, she is a good person, but she didn't choose to become a demon. People who chose to become a demon, pretty evil. But it kind of goes to show you that okay, they're not completely hopeless. Not all of them are hopeless. But to be careful, to be wary, because you put your investment and your empathy in the wrong guy, he turns out to be a demon. But we also see that her goodness, her strength of character, and her friendship are able to defeat the demons, and then also she herself was able to stand strong against him in a lot of respects, and he was able to respect her enough where he kind of turned against his own master, against his own interests, and sacrificed himself for her and everyone else. So it was not only was it how you actually appeal to girls, it also gave them a really good message. I was thinking about, oh yes, like the Labyrinth. The Labyrinth also does this. The Labyrinth is also a really good story for girls, and has good messages. You might there's Goblin King who has like an entire kingdom and is just David Bowie and stuff. Wants to give you everything, but he is evil, right? He might be handsome and powerful, but he's also very manipulative and evil and everything. So it goes to show you this, like how we have for men, for girls to be wary too of these sorts of psychotic lunatics, the devious incubus, as they say, because they're out there. Because the unfortunate reality is that there's so much that there's a lot of media for girls and women that are just about like You go, girl. Know your worth. Take what you can, manifest them, and then if you have a temptation, if you encounter a one of these incubi types, but you're already married or in a relationship, cheat on the boyfriend. It's okay, girl. You deserve it. That's a lot of what a lot of media do for women. It's always about them cheating on their significant other and how it's glorious and exciting and virtuous and something like that. And it's the right thing to do. If you know your worth, don't let a man hold you back. Don't let a man hold you down. It's all that like feminist crap that kind of this that's been flooding the market. We say in the West, a lot of that media is about women cheating on men, cheating on their spouses and their loved ones, and how that's a good thing. So, Game of Demon Hunters is about just it's a really good you know internal conflict with the main character. She goes from being friends with them to being kind of like with friction. Friction develops between the three girls and everything, and she's falling in love with this demon guy, and then she's able to smash through it. She's able to smash through the whole thing, and the demon guy sacrifices himself for her. She's able to make up with her friends. They're able to get over it, and like friends or should and are supposed to, and they're able to conquer the evil. Very good stuff. Very good, fantastic stuff. It wasn't about how she should just how he wouldn't turn good, and then she should cheat on him or something like that. It wasn't anything betrayal good sort of thing, which is a lot of media for women nowadays. It's what's emotionally correct, I guess. It's a really good story for girls and young women, and it gives you it's a good messaging, good overall lessons. It's a and so yeah, it does deserve awards because it's not just like a popcorn muncher. You go in, you watch it, you forget about it. There's some heaviness there. There's some good stuff to take from that story. So yeah, it definitely deserved awards. It wasn't just because of hype. It actually deserved awards, I think. Let's see. Revenar says, good evening, listeners of Best Chat, and begun the Hollywood Wars have. Exactly. Revenar says, good morning, everyone. I'm making some fresh sourdough bread. Oh, very nice. For some Guinness braised corned beef tonight. That sounds delicious. Very good stuff. Well, fantastic. Look, you're having a good day. Good, fantastic Monday. Scott DB God says, good morning, Best Chat. Remember to stay hydrated and stand against the evil. Absolutely, Chat. And by the way, we did end up going on Saturday. We had that extra stream, I promise, on Saturday, because that is the traditional day they watch Ruby. And then we didn't rewatch Ruby. Well, we started Ice Queendom, which is actually way better than the original story of Ruby. Now, of course, it is the first couple episodes, or at least the first 3 episodes, are kind of a rehashing of the earlier seasons of Ruby. So it's kind of like they're making sense. They're adding more context, making them feel more like people, making them feel giving them more substance and foundation. However, while it is better, it's still not awesome or great. It's remember, you're trying to improve upon the storyline of Ruby. It's still kind of that's going to be a challenge to make it really, really good. But they do make it better, and it has been interesting to see. And going by the title, of course, Weiss is going to become like a central focus, which is good because Weiss is probably the best character out of the 4. Like there is a whole conflict where she's like disappointed that she's not the leader, right? And I think that's kind of shared with anyone with sense because she is the most qualified to be leader. Like, as far as I can tell, the only reason why Ruby's the leader is because her name begins with R, and they really need a word. They really need an R to begin the word that makes up their team. Like, we can only make the word Ruby out of this thing. So I guess she's the leader. Same reason why Jean became the leader of his team, despite technically not being able to. He shouldn't really be there, because he kind of lied his way in, but he somehow became leader of a team. It's because they need his name to start the word Juniper. So for his team, with the other initials of the characters. So I'm pretty sure that's how they pick who's going to be the team member, because of depending on how the team leader, depending on how the initials go and how they can arrange them. If your name happens to be first, if your initial happens to be first in the team to make the word of the team, the title of the team, Well, good luck and congratulations. You're the new team leader based on no other merit besides that. Pretty sure it's how that works. Let's see. Shadow Electronics, hello to you. Morning all. Friday had a lot of good news. Dad came from the hospital. Oh, very nice, very nice, very nice. And we have 2 more found Doctor Who episodes. Very cool. Dad home is more important, but unlost episodes are a nice bonus. I would say so. Dad comes home, two interesting episodes of the Doctor Who when it was good before the dark times. Chris says, if I were to give Captain Sins, Kirk Lust, Sulu Envy, Picard Pride, Cisco Wrath, definitely, and Janeway Woman. I think Janeway would just be coffee. I think her just is gluttony. Like, let's go to the coffee nebula, sir. The Call of Vampire Gods, good morning. All work ended early yesterday due to a thunderstorm. It may be getting canceled today, probably due to the rain turning to ice. Wow. I hope it doesn't. I'm broke. Yeah, I mean, it sucks. But the thing is, when water turns to ice on the road, man, that is the wrong time to drive on it. That is incredibly hazardous. So, I mean, I guess it's better to be, broke than having to traverse that. But good luck. Hopefully, it doesn't turn to ice. That would suck in any scenario. It just Litdev, the adult Team Aang movie poster just dropped. I saw it, but I don't really have big hopes for it, mainly because one of the big selling points of the new series is that, or the movie, is that they recast all the voice actors so that the voice actors match the race of the character. That's not a good sign. It's not a good sign at all. Slinky Falcon says, good morning, LD and Best Chat. Well, good morning to you, Slinky Falcon. Welcome. Hello to you. Welcome. Let's see. Book Column says, good morning. Megathon says, good morning, LD and Best Chat. Hope everyone is doing great. Being out for the week. However, today we are getting hit with freezing rain. Yeah, it's been cold. I woke up, it was like freezing cold for some reason. And the top of this 30 centimeter, 12-inch of snow we got yesterday, man, that's a lot. It's a big storm moving in, it seems like. Asteroid Plague. Hello to you, salutations, everyone. Hello to you, Asteroid Plague. Good morning. Detroit Vim says, good morning, LD and Best Chat. Good morning to you. Guess we need to watch KPDH. Maybe. Let's see. William Bennett says, good morning, LD. Animated Firefly seems bittersweet. I hate most prequels, but hope it succeeds. I heard about that. I've not actually seen the original Firefly. I heard it was legendary, but people just told me that I was like, oh, this is Cowboy Bebop. I'm like, oh, well, I've already seen Cowboy Bebop. And this is way better, right? Let's see. All right, chat. Well, the first topic I have for today, and I have several, is so my next video coming up is about heroes, and so I had to spend a long time going over this different iterations of Superman, Batman. The main topic is not about them, but they are representations of the hero, what we think about heroes in America. And I kept thinking about Wonder Woman. I was like, because Wonder Woman has been interesting, and I'm like, everyone includes her in the main trio, but I kind of feel like I keep asking why. And I know like all these all the male nerds are like, oh yeah, I love Wonder Woman. She's my favorite heroes. I'm like, why? No, she kind of exists to balance out the trio. Really, it's Superman and Batman that carry everything. It's not just an opinion. I just keep going over the idea of why is she so awesome? Why is she considered a part of the trio other than that she exists and there needs to be like a woman in there? Because first of all, she, as far as I could remember, she doesn't really have any weaknesses. As she used to, they got rid of them. Let me go over that in a little bit. But also, there's also the idea, the fact that she really, as far as I could tell, she doesn't really have big, like legendary storylines, which the other two members of the trio do have. The Superman has the whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow, also Superman, Man for All Seasons, things like that. He has like all these things where he's like fighting Brainiac. He's Doomsday. He's fighting Doomsday. That's one of the most legendary storylines in comic book history, whether you like it or not. Like whether you think it's like really good writing or not. The Death of Superman Doomsday scenario, Doomsday was huge. It was epic, right? It really shook the foundations of comic books in real life because it changed things significantly. And of course, for Batman, we have The Killing Joke, Black Mirror, Long Halloween. You know, we even have all this, the Batman the animated series, Batman Begins. We have a lot of stuff for like a ton of stuff for Batman, like probably more than Superman, actually. You know, Dark Knight Returns. You got all that stuff, but I can't really think of anything for Wonder Woman. I want to take a writer's look at her and see if we can like improve her and make her more interesting, make her more viable. Because the only thing anyone can really come up with is that is she Amazon's attack or something like that, and she seems to be like Hulk, like the DC's Hulk. You know, the Hulk can't really carry a series on his own, and Wonder Woman doesn't really seem to be able to do that. Like, she really works most effectively when she's attached to Superman or Batman. Like Batman or Superman has a story going on, and then she shows up to help. That's kind of what where Wonder Woman kind of is best utilized. And I think some of this downplay, like some of this underutilization, came from the fact they kind of get rid of all of her weaknesses because they're all like sexist weaknesses, like being tied up by men and stuff. And then they never replaced those weaknesses. Like, they never gave her new ones. Not as far as I can tell. Like, nothing like Superman or Batman. So I don't know. It's interesting, but I want to take a look at that at Wonder Woman. I've always been curious about this. Let's check it out. So I thought it'd be appropriate to get a comic by Comics Historian, which I think will break down a few things. You're the origins of Wonder Woman. Let's go over this first.
Welcome to the origins of your favorite superheroes and villains. Today we're going to be examining the origin of Wonder Woman. Now, unlike most DC superheroes, Wonder Woman has not gotten a massive alteration to her original origin. So we're going to be looking at the origin that was in the Closet of Mystery #7 comic book and has been retold in Secret Origins #6. Diana is an Amazon, that we all know, but there's more to her story that not even she is fully aware of in the beginning. You see, her mother, the queen, was barren and unable to have children. So she took the clay from the beaches of the Amazonian island and she made Diana out of that clay. And she told her daughter about that. What she didn't tell her is that there is more to the story. You see, Zeus, the king of gods, arrived that night on the beach, and he came together with the queen of the Amazons in a forbidden love. She can't tell Diana about this because Hera, Zeus's wife, would have Diana killed. And because of this, Diana has always felt like she didn't belong with the Amazons. Her mother would do anything to protect her daughter, but Diana, she wants more. She doesn't want to stay on this island. While she may be the princess of the Amazon,
and so she has, typical Disney princess kind of thing. She's on this Amazon island, only women she fights. She's really good at what she does, though. But she always wants something more. She wants something more than provincial life. Disney princess, scenario. And then, of course, we all know that the guy comes over. I forgot what his name is, but he comes over. He crash lands on the island. They kind of take care of him, and then she goes back with him, I think. And then that's kind of how she gets into the our world, from the Amazon world. But she's literally a princess, and she's Princess Diana, I think. Then she becomes Wonder Woman, and those shackles on her wrists they call them cuffs. Now her bulletproof bracelets. They're like. Do these look bracelets to you? Not really bracelets, right? They are shackles. They're shackles because the origin of Wonder Woman, at least the original, I think, was that the Amazons refused to fight in this war or whatever, and so as punishment for remaining neutral or siding with the wrong side, I think they remain neutral. That they were shackled and punished, and they were shackled to that point where they had to obey men, or they were weak to men or something like that. So this is why Wonder Woman became her original weakness was she was bound by men, she became helpless. So those bulletproof bracelets are actually shackles that represent their captivity. Because the gods punished them for remaining neutral, I think. We'll check it out.
She just felt like being clay, she didn't belong with the Amazons. She wanted to go to the mainland. She wanted to go to man's world. But when she told this to her friends, they turned their backs on her. They told her that if it was so easy for her to leave the island and her sisters, then she just didn't belong with them.
It's almost Shakespearean. Like so the main trio of DC, right, is Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is the only one of the three that actually chooses her destiny, right? She's the only one that really chooses her destiny in that sense, where, Superman doesn't really have, does he have a choice to be Superman? Absolutely. That's kind of the whole thing. But, he was born on Krypton, it blew up, and he was raised on Earth. Like, that part was not really a choice. Batman grew up as Bruce Wayne. He was a kid, Bruce Wayne with Martha and Thomas Wayne as parents. And they were shot and killed by, some mugger, Joe Chill. And so he became an orphan, and that pain fueled him to become Batman, right? So while both men did choose their destiny as like superheroes, they were not given the choice. Like they didn't choose to be like Bruce Wayne did not choose to become an orphan. Superman did not choose to have his planet blow up. It's like that. Wonder Woman, as far as I remember, like she was just on this island with all the other Amazons, but she kind of like does not really want to fit in. Like she does not really fit in there and does not feel like she belongs there. She wants to voluntarily go out to the world and do things, right? She wants to voluntarily go out into the world and explore the world of man. That's kind of how it's supposed to be, like how it is. Like this would be the equivalent of like if Bruce Wayne grew up under the guise, of Martha and Thomas Wayne, like just normal, like just nothing really bad happened, and he just grew up to be like this brilliant CEO or something. And then later on, he chose to be Batman. It'd be like kind of like that, where Bruce Wayne would have totally stepped aside out of his normal trajectory of life and then chosen the destiny. So, like he didn't get to choose that. It's like all the way. Again, he didn't choose to become an orphan. In this case, it's like Diana is conflicted. Like she doesn't really want to be there and go down the line or walk down the road that she's been told to walk down. It's actually this classic, even today. Is a classic setup for a woman, right? Just like classic female protagonist setup. Like I have my future planned out for me, but I don't want that. So like that's classic Disney princess syndrome. You're a princess. You're going to marry a prince. You're going to become queen, and basically, in a lot of these scenarios, if the woman has her future planned out for her, she doesn't want it, and as she has to rebel against that. That's the usual trajectory of how this goes. Even if it's an awesome future, like if it's like you're gonna become a queen and you're gonna be rich. This is kind of like Titanic too. Like Titanic, she's gonna marry this rich guy and you're gonna have a comfortable life. But of course she doesn't want that. She wants to go with the poor dude. So, this is traditional female protagonist setup. This is the Disney princess syndrome. She rejects this great future that she has and wants to go out and do other things, explore the world of man. Let's see. Yeah, it's like Ariel. It's like, Ariel, the main character from Titanic, pretty much every Disney princess. Like it's always that kind of like, I have this great life planned for me, but I want to rebel against that. And that's kind of what Diana goes through as well.
She was nothing more than clay. Diana was hurt. She told her mother of her intentions, but her mother just wrote it off as an adventurous girl wanting to explore. She promised that she would take her daughter to the mainland as a weekend trip. Diana tossed and turned in her bed that night. She just wanted to explore the world. She just wanted to go somewhere where she didn't have to hide what she is. She's tired of being ashamed that she is nothing more than clay. When suddenly, the goddess Athena arrives to tell the young princess, "You have nothing to be ashamed of. You wanting..."
Let's see, numbers is honestly, I think the thing that damaged Wonder Woman the most was surprisingly DCAU. Things like Amazon Attack and Injustice were bad. DCAU was good, and she was the weakest part of that show. Let's see. But yeah, Amazon Attack was that one where like the Amazons for some reason invade the US or something. Like why? I never knew why that happened. I just know about the storyline. And then they keep doing this too. Like they have no idea what to do with their major female characters, the female heroes. So they always have like, okay, here's the part where their people invade the United States. This is the same thing with Hawk Girl. Hawkgirl was also part of like this. She was a hero in Justice League, remember? And then her people invaded, and then later on, it's like, you know what? Let's do that again with the Amazons. Like every single time they have a significant, awesome female character as a hero, her people have to invade. I guess it's an interesting conflict, but it's more like her people invade, and she has to choose between her people and her newfound family, which is very, I guess, also very feminine. It's like, just which one do I choose? It's the same choice, I guess you could say, as the love triangle. So that's why I'm saying it's very feminine. Like, oh, who do I choose? The rich guy who's stable and rich, or the poor guy who's also like a rebellious biker dude. It's one of those things, and that interesting love triangle. But yeah, so I do know that's the main storyline I know about Wonder Woman is Amazon's attack. So I don't know. I was just looking over Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and I was like, compared to Batman and Superman, Wonder Woman doesn't really have as much as they do. They don't really have she's not really utilized nearly as much as Superman and Batman, and technically speaking, so both Superman and Batman today, at least today, are not utilized nearly as much as Batman. Like Batman is the golden boy. He's right. The DC at the moment is like just a Batman machine. But compared with all three of them, Wonder Woman is by far given the least attention. I know they ramped her up with like a was it Absolute Wonder Woman. They gave her Absolute Wonder Woman, but even then it's not really as famous as the other ones, right? The one that everyone reads is Absolute Batman. They're trying so hard. Like they gave her like when I was a kid, right? Wonder Woman was cool. Like she had she was compassionate. She was just confident, and she had like a lasso of truth and her like bulletproof bracelets. And then as time went on, I guess the writers had no idea what to do with her. So eventually they gave her like a sword and shield, which I guess like to make her more like a warrior, but like it's not really something I never had pictured Wonder Woman with like a sword and shield. When she just had a lasso of truth and her bracelets, she kind of fit in with Superman and Batman, the non-lethal trajectory that they had. But when she had sword and shield, it kind of felt like this is more along the lines of she's going to go start killing people. But then we got Kingdom Come, where she does the same thing as she does in Injustice. Like in Kingdom Come, Wonder Woman kind of sides Superman and says, "Yeah, let's take them all out, put them on the gulags." And then in Injustice came along, she does the same thing. She sides Superman and becomes insane. She starts siding with him to conquer and terrorize the Earth with tyranny. It's like, so not only she doesn't just do that in Injustice, she does that in Kingdom Come as well. But compared to the other two, she doesn't really have her own like epic storylines, and that seems to be, considering her origin story and like where the Amazons thing and how the very Greek, like, man, you can't think of any Greek stories like mythical stories for her that are good enough to become famous or good enough to have a spot next to Killing Joke or also Superman or whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow. Like no one. It kind of feels like she's underutilized, and I feel like there's a lot of potential there for this character. Let's see. It's comic historian, absolutely. Actually, LD, I think the Absolute Wonder Woman is more read than Absolute Batman. Think critical to follow the sales of comics. Absolute Wonder Woman is more read than Super. Now, I don't know. Maybe more the Superman, because I don't know, the Superman one is kind of weird. He's like Brazilian or something. But we have to take into the fact that like the people will buy Absolute Wonder Woman because like to take selfies with. So I'm not sure if they're actually reading it. I don't know. But Absolute Batman seems to be the one that's most talked about. Like there's articles and discussions online about Absolute Batman more than any of the other ones so far. So I mean, people are jealous. I mean, that's kind of, I guess that's why there's a lot of people talking about it, because there's a lot of anger and frustration and jealousy around Absolute Batman and how Scott Snyder is like leading the headway, but he's coming out saying that, oh yeah, these guys are coming out bashing me. They were like 1 week beforehand, they were just asking me for jobs with Absolute Batman. Like, you got anything for me to write about with Absolute Batman? Well, every week it's like, oh, some guy comes to ask him for a job with Absolute Batman, and he's like, and then the following week they're bashing him and trashing him. So there's a lot of drama around Absolute Batman. It seems to be that's the at least the ones generating the most hype. It's like very nice. Says, "Relation of best chat. What are we watching and what's happened so far?" We're just going over Wonder Woman, and the thing is, I've been going over my new video. It's about heroes, and basically it's mainly actually about Game of Thrones and Another Seven Kingdoms. But I do talk about Batman and Superman a little bit, touch base on them, because they are the kind of the main faces of heroism in America today. So I'm like, I was looking over Superman and Batman, and there's the trio, right? Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. But like all these stories I'm thinking about are about Batman and Superman, mainly Batman, and not really a lot of these stories about Wonder Woman. I think it's a letdown, because she has a lot of potential, being from a Greek origin and an Amazon and things like that. And it's not because of the feminist thing. We need to have her have more stories because she's a woman and stuff like that. And she's going to balance out the trio. It's a fact that she's technically really awesome. She's supposed to be really awesome. You think she would be anyway. There's a lot of cool stuff there, cool potential there. Just don't take advantage of it. Let's see. Nigathon, looks like 5. The super chat says, snow removal guy was here, so I had to move my car. There was a good 1/8 of ice. Wow, a 1/8 inch of ice on the car. Super fun, man. It must be cold over there. Well, glad you got that removed. Good luck to you, Megalithon, and stay safe, stay warm. Dragon to be God, this is $20 super chat. Very generous, Dragon to be God. Appreciate it. So you said Megalithon's generosity, like that's just almost a habit. Dragon to be God says, I think people don't know what to do with Diana is because there is no stories to challenge her ideology. She doesn't have a no kill rule, so they can't challenge her on that. She's a feminist who already challenged feminism. Yeah, it's like there's no real conflict with her as much as you would get with Superman or Batman. She technically doesn't have a no kill rule. Like technically, this is why she was able to later get a sword and shield and cut off people's heads. But yes, and there's no weaknesses, right? There's no weaknesses. There's no like. I mean, she's compassionate, but only by choice. Like there's no like real and dark, deep embedded reason why she's like this, right? So Batman, to me, the way he said of Batman is that if he kills, that's the one thing. Like he's gone down such a dark road that he's kind of given up every single limitation on what he does, all the way down to no kill. Like the one thing like holding him back is not killing. Like he subverted his friends. The whole like what's it called, that code where he's able to he actually thought up weaknesses and way to take out the other members of the Justice League just to get to turn evil. The Judas Protocol or whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called. I forgot what it was. But that one where he knows how to take down like all the other Justice League members, and he has them in place just in case they turn evil. It's that, right? It's kind of like that. Like he's gone so far down that road of paranoia and planning ahead and fighting bad guys and outsmarting people that really the only limitation left is not killing. So the moment he kills somebody, he's kind of become he's down the road to becoming a villain. And he knows this. So he can't. And then Superman is like a good boy. Like he's like the Boy Scout, the guy that does the right thing at all times. Like the guy that has the most power. He has unlimited power, and he wrestles with the idea of having that unlimited power and what he does with it and what he can do with it. And so he's pulled between wanting to help everyone, being able to hear, first of all, everyone on Earth cry for help, and then also wanting to help everyone, but also then in conflict with knowing that he can change the world, he can force the world to be how he wants it to be, but how that's wrong. But he can do it. He can exploit this absolute power to make the world and to force the world into peace, but really he can't, right? It's tough. So he has that warring conflict within him, to hold back, to be kind, but to be merciful, but while knowing that these bad guys who are causing a lot of harm, he could just kill them. He could just annihilate them. But his ethics say that no, this is wrong. So, like, really, what does Wonder Woman have as a character other than to show up and, like, be supportive and kind of just like help people out? She doesn't really have any conflict, really. She did have some conflict. She kind of stripped that away from her because a lot of her conflicts were considered like sexist and stuff. So, and they didn't bother to give her new stuff, like to reinvent it to where it's not as quote unquote sexist. So they just kind of left her with a person with no drawbacks. Like she has no real weaknesses. Not really. So, and I think people have pointed this out too, where Superman has kryptonite and his ethical code, and Batman it doesn't have any powers, and his no kill rule, things like that. And they kind of point out that Wonder Woman, Princess Diana doesn't really have any weaknesses. They kind of took away her weaknesses because they're sexist or deemed sexist, and just didn't replace them. So now she's absolutely without a drawback or flaw. And I think that's even addressed in that whole thing with Batman, where where he has like a way to take down everybody, and the way to take down Wonder Woman is, I think, Superman or something like that. So because she doesn't really have any weaknesses to exploit, she's just awesome. That's kind of what happened. Because she doesn't really have any weaknesses. So they even addressed that in that storyline, I think. But overall, yeah, she doesn't really have anything to go off of. And I know that in some feminist mind, it's kind of like, oh yeah, she is so flawless. She's better than all the boys and everything. But on the same metric, doesn't she might be without flaw or weakness, but she's also without conflict. Therefore, like, what conflict can they give her? And it's very unfortunate. But yeah, the only drawback to Wonder Woman, I think, is that they make her a little bit weaker than Superman. I think that's the only thing that they decide on. Like, okay, well, we can keep her without any flaws or weaknesses as long as she's just a little bit weaker than Superman. Just a little bit. It's not that she has no weaknesses. She has weaknesses before, even if they were problematic. That she'd had them at one point and they took them away. They had it right when they had her lasso be her weakness, but they removed that too. Yeah, they even removed the stamina weakness. See, as I'm talking about, she had some great weaknesses beforehand. Even if they're considered sexist, it was some interesting weaknesses. I mean, they kept they took away if she's bound by a man, she's helpless. But Green Lantern gets to keep his weakness, the color yellow, which I do like. I think it's a unique weakness. But they didn't replace them, and they were really good weaknesses and made sense. They made sense. They had mythological origin and everything, but they were considered problematic, and they got rid of them all. And they never gave her new ones or anything like that. And see. But yeah, that's about it. So they kind of got rid of everything that could hold her back, except the fact that she is a little bit weaker than Superman. And that's kind of where they kind of draw the line.
To leave does not turn your back on anyone. You are taking up a worthy struggle to face who you are. One that this god approves of. While Diana must take this journey alone, she at least has this god's support. Meanwhile, Captain Trevor was on a test flight over the Bermuda Triangle when strange gusts of wind came through and they threw his plane into a spiral. Looking for a place to crash land, he saw an island that he's never seen before, and he decided that he had no option but to crash land on this unknown island. Stumbling away from his crash landing, he falls in front of a very curious young princess who rushed out to see what all this noise is about. Diana walks over and she tells him that he has landed on an island where there are no men and only women. And he just replies with, "Sounds like paradise." She lifts him up and surprised he turns to her. "Say, you're pretty strong for a girl." "No, I'm just pretty strong," Diana corrects him. And Trevor realizes his mistake, so he apologizes. "I didn't mean to offend you." "But that doesn't mean you didn't," Diana tells him. She walks back to the city, and once asked what all of this is, she tells them, "This is my ticket off of the island." From this point on, Diana did go to the mainland and she worked through Captain Trevor, and eventually, Captain Trevor worked with the entire Justice League through Diana. Thank you for joining us, and don't forget that we have a Twitter account and a subreddit where we can all chat about.
I kind of feel like it's kind of telling that the first thing that happens is that she gets offended.
She lives on an island where there are no men and only women.
So look, I just got done watching for the video. I watched Julius Caesar, and there are parts of there that would be like where the wife, like Brutus's wife, Brutus's wife from Julius Caesar is she's like, okay, I know that I'm a woman, but you can confide in me. Essentially, that's what she says to Brutus. Like, look, I know something's bothering you. I might be your wife, but I'm like the daughter of this guy and this guy and the acquaintance of this guy, and I'm well bred and I'm from a strong bloodline. Essentially, even though I'm a woman, I can take whatever you have. Like I can withstand and not break down under the weight that you seem to be under. So let me help you. So they would have words like that where, yeah, you're the man, you take a lot of the brunt of the stress from outside, but I'm your wife, let me help you. And so they kind of understood that back then. Like there's certain roles that women take. But here's like, you're strong for a girl. Oh, well, you offended me. Why is he apologizing? He should be like, usually it's the men who fight. He should be like, in his mindset, that's what his perspective would be, right? He just wouldn't be suddenly a feminist or something. So I don't know, it's kind of telling that the first thing that she does in this version of her origin story is get offended. She gives like a feminist lecture, like right off the bat. I didn't mean to offend you. Well, doesn't mean you didn't. I thought that was pretty cringe. Let's see, Wolfsbane. The 10 cheers is that they could have it where Hercules is, or whichever demigod that attacked Amazon before they went to the island, have an artifact that binds Amazon, something Bane related. Yeah, exactly. So this is what I thought about. Discuss with you, like what could we do with this? Like, where could we go? What could we do with Diana, Princess Diana as a character to make her more interesting or make her more viable? And because she's the least utilized of the three supposed trio of DC Comics. She kind of is there because she's an icon, but she's not really given a lot of stories, not compared to the other two. Let's see. Also, in 10 cheers is like Bane of the Amazons or Hippolyta's Bane, something like that. Yeah, because Hercules would be like a big one because he had the whole conflict with Hippolyta, stole her magical belt. I just thought I'd be kind of cool. Like, if anything, she would be good to go up against like knights or something, or go on an epic quest or something like that. Like, I would say that it'd be kind of interesting if she had to participate in like a Holy Grail war, from Fate. but no stands or whatever, no servants. It's like she has to fight for the Holy Grail, like with her sword and shield. That's pretty like Greek. That's a pretty Greek epic journey because you had the Argonauts. They went on all these adventures. They had the Odyssey. You had the Battle of Troy. You had the Spartans sending up to all these Persians. So like these epic Greek stories. That's like an epic level quest. It was good. Like imagine her going off on a quest to like fight for the Holy Grail or something like that, and she has to encounter all these other knights or Templar orders and something like that. Want to use it for evil, right? That could be kind of interesting. Give her some, a warrior-based storyline, things like that. Pretty cool. Let's see. Now. There we go. See, Kara, the token nerd says, hi all. Sorry I'm late. Forgot what time, the time difference. Yeah, the time difference is kind of interesting. I'm still getting used to it too. Anyway, chat. So I just thought that it was it could be a little bit better if like if they could utilize her potential more. And it's very unfortunate. So from writer's perspective, she needs some weaknesses. She needs something there that can give her some conflict. Like Batman's no-kill rule, his origin of like, okay, I have to stand. I can't let myself become a monster while fighting monsters. So I need something to keep me grounded, to keep me virtuous. Same thing with Punisher, by the way. Punisher, of course, has no kill rule, but he does have a rule of black and white morality where he could never ever harm a innocent ever. So that's where his military expertise comes in, where he spots things. He carries out reconnaissance. He plans out his trajectory of attack and everything. Gets all of his tools ready to go. So usually when he goes to attack like a big building or gathering or something, it's so well planned out that there's no chance any civilians will be hurt. That's where his expertise comes in. Let's see. Punisher has no kill rule. He has no kill rule. So he's able to do whatever he likes on that front. But he does have because he's an anti-hero, right? He does have a little bit of morality left, which is if he kills an innocent, he'll just kill himself, because that's kind of what his strong ethical push is, I guess, strong ethics push him to do. That if he does the same thing as the bad guys that he kills, if he kills an innocent, then he deserves to die. That's kind of the Punisher's mentality. So Batman has a no kill rule. Well, he'll never kill anybody. Punisher doesn't have that, but he does have the rule of I'm not going to kill an innocent. If I do, I kill myself. And that's usually how his storylines go. You could not kill an innocent. So Diana needs something like that where there is conflict. Like the rule has to be stressed. And we get that all the time with Superman, all the time with Batman. In fact, the Superman, that's kind of the ending of whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow. We all think he dies, but what happens is he actually does kill Mr. Mxyzptlk at the end of that storyline, and he goes, "You know what? I killed him though. Like he's dead, and no man with my power can do that. Should be able to do that. So that's why he voluntarily depowers himself." Because he killed Mr. Mxyzptlk, and his self-appointed punishment is no more powers. So he's able to, live a normal life, and just pretend that that Superman is dead. As first of all, doing that will punish him for killing Mr. Mxyzptlk. And second of all, it'll stop people from coming to stop him and to do and from trying to kill him and putting his friends and loved ones in constant danger because of people trying to kill him. Let's see. Because Yogi says, I want to challenge you on that, LD. I don't think every character needs a weakness. Spider-Man has no weaknesses, and he turns out okay. Well, he does have rules though. So Flash doesn't really have a weakness either. He turns out to be pretty cool. But they have Flash and Spider-Man, I think, both have the no kill rule as well. And Spider-Man has the whole thing about his life is just crap. His life is just always awful. He always blames himself. So he has the whole thing about with great power comes great responsibility. So maybe she doesn't really need, technically speaking, a weakness, because she's kind of like, you take into the fact that she's a human that's supposed to be a little bit more powerful. I know it's made from clay in this one, but it's supposed to be kind of like a more power, like more like a superhuman. She's supposed to be like a superhuman. That's kind of like the idea they should go with. Instead she's kind of like, she can probably fight Krypton. I think she can fight Superman for a little bit. So it's a little bit too powerful, but really, she needs something like a rule that it's stressed, because right now she doesn't really have anything that can be stressed. Right? There's no rule or something to her personality that can be stressed, and so therefore she's not really utilized as much. There's nothing that can really be challenged on her, and so, but she does have stories and everything. It's not nearly as much as Batman or Superman. And say chat. But there needs to be something there, something to put her heart in conflict with itself, which Superman and Batman both have, and even Punisher has. So I think she needs something there that there can be stories built off of, that can be challenging, that can push her ethically, morally, whatever it might be. Let's see. Oh, we got a guest in the back room. Let's see who this could possibly be. Let me see. Here we go. And welcome, Glib.
Hello there.
Welcome. We're just talking about Wonder Woman. I was making a video about heroes and everything,
Yeah.
and lots about Game of Thrones and Knights of Seven Kingdoms. It's really I have to go over Superman and Batman as well because they're the faces of the modern day hero in America, and I just kind of looked at Wonder Woman as well because she's part of the trio, and I'm like, she doesn't really have as much stuff as Batman and Superman do. Like, not nearly.
Well, it's like a technical thing. Like, it's not. Boy wants to see man do thing because boy will one day be man is one part of the equation. Another part is Superman has the most ability in terms of biological power or whatever, and then Batman has all the cool gadgets. So then you're left with Wonder Woman, who kind of has like, she went into the bin and pulled out a bunch of toys, like super toys. So she's got the whip and the invisible, like it does. None of that fits, and none of it means anything. So it's kind of just like we need a girl hero, you know. Unfortunately,
it's kind of what the role she plays. She's like, okay, we got Batman, Superman, and a girl, and people kind of just add her in as a favorite superhero because like they don't want to be sexist. So like, oh yeah, I'm not sexist. I like Wonder Woman. Like, okay, why? For what reason? What reason do you like Wonder Woman? Because she's there, because she exists. She bounced out the other team because she happens to be a girl. It's very unfortunate because she has a really cool origin story. You know, even aside from all the bondage stuff, and she's made out of clay. She's an Amazon. You know, she's Greek origins and everything. It's pretty interesting. And there could have been a lot done with her because her Greek origins could have made her like these awesome epic storylines, but they just never utilized her. Instead, we just have endless Batman, and every once in a while we get a little gourmet dish of Superman. But we just have endless Batman. And see, Deborah says, "Welcome, cowboy."
howdy.
And see, chat. And then the Carnage says, Spider-Man and Flash have weaknesses. Spider-Man has limited amount of web, and Flash needs to eat massive calories. Oh yeah, I remember that because is that Goku? Yes, it's Goku eat because his powers burn through his body's energy. And Wolfspray the 10 Shears says Spider-Man's weakness is the writers, and Flash's weakness is his metabolism. It's not his fault that the writers continue to forget about unless it's a comedic effect. And he needs to eat a lot of stuff. Let's see. But yeah, I started to watch a comic historian thing. Apparently they redid her origin with like a modern day art or whatever, and she gets offended. Cheers out.
Stumbling away from his crash landing, he falls in front of a very curious young princess who rushed out to see what all this noise is about. Diana walks over. She tells him that he has landed on an island where there are no men and only women. And he just replies,
He's like, what? He's like, I think that's what she tells him, right? And look at his face, like, yeah, all right. All the islands are gonna crash on. This is a pretty good one. Anyway,
with, sounds like paradise. She lifts him up and surprised he turns to her. Say,
he's like, I was right. It is paradise. Like today, this would be like a fetish thing. This giant woman carrying you.
you're pretty strong for a girl.
Did you you've discussed before the fantasy about Batman where when girls are given a Batman toy they put it at the tea table? You've said that before, right?
Yeah, they I talked about this some time ago, I think. Also, this is what happens in Toy Story, right? She gets Buzz Lightyear and makes him Mrs. Nesbit. The girls will make the character her, and the boys will aspire to become the character. Like, I am Batman. Well, the girls are like, oh, he's not Batman, he's Mrs. Nesbit.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, though, is that we have two different objectives. But as long as we are trying to think that, like, those objectives are not part of the spirit of what we're doing here, then I think we're going to miss the point. I mean, there's a range of ages, and then there's a range of types of people that enjoy this stuff. But I got to be honest, when it comes to the sociological factors that create the environment for what comic book fans are, it's like 1 out of 10 or maybe 2 out of 10 people that are in the nerd group are the women. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It reminds me, honestly, and I know this sounds so judgmental, but there's a lot of times where I go, the most beautiful women like barely have hobbies. You know what I mean? Because it's like, well, they just have all of that. You know what I mean? And then there's not a lot of guys that are like the jock type that have everything laid out for them that are going to be sitting there reading a Batman comic really and caring a lot about the background of it. So the people that read these comics, it's a specific type. And the big question is, how does Wonder Woman fit into that group? Is it the token? Is she just the token woman? Or is there something specific about her? Because I don't see anything specific about her. She's got the American flag on her, but she's not an American.
Like her role seems to be, according to like modern day, how this modern day writers utilize her, despite the fact that they're all gung ho about feminism and social justice, she's just a girl. She's just the girl of the group, and that's kind of how they kind of have her. Like I mentioned earlier, that she's kind of like the Hulk of DC's Hulk, where she doesn't really run her own series anymore. She kind of shows up in other people's series.
I mean, it would be nice if they were, but this goes into the storytelling of comic books again, where it's like, are comic books it's really funny. The serialization of television back in the day was like, okay, it's episode 37 of Star Trek, and Kirk and Spock are on the Enterprise, and we're going to a place where time seems to slow down and it's hard to escape. How are we going to escape? And then meanwhile, Chekhov falls in love with one of the slowed down women, right?
Of course,
and then, right. And then at the end, they escape, and Chekhov says bye to the woman, and da-da-da-da. Like, we just move on, you know? And then most people, they're used to that. There's so much of that from the previous era that around the 90s, somewhere in between Twin Peaks and The Sopranos, there was a shift in thinking where like we need series and seasonal arcs that change the characters like how movies do or books do. But you can't really do that in a comic book. So you can do that and then reset the series, which is what we've mentioned over and over again, is that there's seasons of comics. So when it comes to Wonder Woman, it's like, what's the resolution of Wonder Woman's position as a superhero? Spider-Man, it's so easy. He falls in love with Mary Jane, they get married, then he becomes a teacher or whatever, and she's a model, whatever the outcome is. But when it comes to somebody like Wonder Woman and a lot of the DC characters, as we've discussed before, there's not an out for them. Batman, for him to complete his life goals, he stops being Batman.
Yeah.
I mean, what is Wonder Woman's off ramp, as people are using these days all the time? What is Wonder Woman's finishing? How does she fit? Does she take over the kingdom or the queendom that she's supposed to be part of? Like, what is her goal?
Like that should be like her direct right now. I think her her journey is that I don't want to be here anymore. I'm gonna go seek out the world of man, and so she does. So there's really no goal. She just kind of exists and kind of is a superhero for fun, I guess. It seems to be what her origin is. Like, I'm gonna be good just to be for the sake of doing good, without the goal. Which I guess sounds admirable, but it's not very interesting because you have no idea where she's going, like what exactly her goal is. And so, it would be interesting if like she was actually sent off the island. And kind of like a Thor scenario where he was like a boisterous prince and he's being exiled. I don't think it has to be that far. I think it just has to be like, okay, maybe she's been sent off on a journey to self-discovery, kind of like the Rumspringa.
Yeah.
That the Amish go on. Like she go off there and into the world, and like make it the opposite. Maybe she wants to stay and she wants to be a great person, a great leader. And then it turns out that there's like this tradition that she has to go off and live amongst men or live amongst the world on her own, and come back with the wisdom and bring it back to us. Bring back wisdom, so you can add on to our people's collective wisdom or something like that.
He's underwater again.
Oh no! Hold on.
Now you're back.
Okay, hopefully it's better now.
That shit bothers me, dude. Like my knee, my creaky knee.
I know how that goes, but I think that'd be kind of interesting. Like her goal is to find herself worthy, and then that kind of leads us organically into like, okay, what does that mean to be worthy, right? It's like, okay, it'll be like up to her. Does she feel worthy? Does she feel worthy at any point? Like she does all these great things, and that could come into question. Like, are you worthy? Are you gonna leave? Like after a great big like Justice League scenario, great big Justice League victory, like Superman comes up to her and says, "So are we losing you? Like, are you gonna leave? Are you going back to be queen of Themyscira? Because who knows what it means to be worthy?" I think that'd be kind of an interesting conflict. Like, when does Wonder Woman, a person who's supposed to be humble and just, and have high expectations of herself. Most of all, wouldn't she deem herself to be worthy enough to be queen? And then we go into the idea of like, power is not, power is, the thrust upon you. Great men do not choose power. They have power thrust upon them. It's kind of like that with Diana. Like, she must have power thrust upon her. She will never choose power, would be a really cool, interesting internal conflict, I think. It's the Kalechi Oki extra $10 super chat. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Is
underwater.
Ah, man, what's going on here?
I'm gonna fix that motherfucker. Damn.
Very adaptation of Wonder Woman is 2009 animated Wonder Woman film perfectly explains her motivations on why she wants to help man. As for her villains, a video done by M Enterprises perfectly sums it up. Interesting. And see, what was a Wonder Woman 2009? Let's see. I don't think I've seen this one, but it looks familiar. It does have that animation that I do know. Like the old school DC animation, it kind of looks like that. I'm gonna check it out though. Golden Reaper 2 says, "I'm here. What's the cringe?" Let's do Golden Reaper. Welcome. We're talking about Wonder Woman, her origins, and how she's kind of underutilized compared to the other two. Let's see here. Carlo Batista is the $5 super chat. Thank you very much. Let me see, where is it? Yes. Let's see. Hold on. I didn't wait that time. I just unplugged it, replugged it. God, $5 super chat says, the problem with Wonder Woman is the writers usually only surface level Greek mythology. Whereas you know what they should have done? They should have watched Lucy Lawless. They should have watched Xena Warrior Princess. That's Xena Warrior Princess. If they kind of watched her show and then took inspiration from that, they could come up with some pretty cool storylines. Because Xena Warrior Princess is pretty cool. Where Penthesilea, the other Amazonian queen, where's Nemesis? Oh yeah, Nemesis. Yeah, that's a good one. Nemesis. That'd be a pretty good conflict. I mean, Xena Warrior Princess had Callisto.
I think that's a really good point. I think that super chat was really good because the proportionality for a lot of these threats is not really extrapolated outwards thematically. Like the idea of Batman is in Gotham City and fighting criminals makes perfect sense because it's proportional. Superman fighting, galactic level threats or whatever in space makes a lot of sense, but I don't really know what Wonder Woman is supposed to do here. And I think that's a world building problem. It's also a holdover from the era when they were created, like really early stuff when it could all be more goofy. I always go back to the fact that radiation is like the cause of a lot of these superpowers before people knew that it just gave them cancer. It just destroyed your DNA. Like the source of your powers is something that actually kills you in real life.
And Stanley's like, I'm out of beta rays and Y rays and gamma rays. So I made mutants.
I wish I could just get an X-ray and suddenly start flying.
That'd be pretty awesome. I think it's gonna be like a really high dosage. I guess Watchmen kind of had the most realistic, where it just kills him, and then he brings himself back to life.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It obliterates him.
That one is really key because it basically means that at least in the Watchmen universe, there's something about how Dr. Manhattan is basically an extension of the universe at that point, but he has some sort of residual memory. And that opens up a lot of existential questions that just don't even need to exist in the story. But it makes him the most invincible man to ever walk the planet. Like, you cannot kill him. The thing that made him can't kill him. Why would it do it again? And that was why what Vate did, or whatever, however you pronounce his name, that's why he's so stupid. Because he thinks that he can manipulate all these people, but he can't figure out how to defeat a god or whatever like that. His frame of reference is too small. And that's why that comic, honestly, as a story, is one of the best of all time. Because how many comic book writers, or how many writers in general, are able to sit there and think, like, what would happen here? That kind of deliberation is something only Alan Moore was capable of doing in that medium at that time. There's nobody else. Not Frank Miller, nobody.
If you look at Watchmen, man, yeah, he really puts in a lot of thought into like the metaphysics of things. It's tough. Like the first time I read Watchmen is like, man, he thought about all this. This you can tell Alan Moore is a passionate writer, very passionate guy. Whatever you might think of him, again, like whatever you might think about these writers, some of them are really good, despite what their politics might be. Like George R. R. Martin, I don't know why he's sent for Biden, which is stupid, but he's great. Like he's a really good writer, fantastic world builder. Alan Moore, ex-commie, right, or current commie. I know he's a wizard or something like that, but fantastic writer, like fantastic deep thinker writer. Pretentious, but you know it kind of comes with the territory. It's a Wolfsbane. It's in Cheer says you could have it where she's barren due to her birth and kind of obsessed with nurturing children, as she could never give Steve Trevor any of her time with him. I guess that would make sense because they're made of clay. They would have to cement that she was birthed by clay instead of Hippolyta doing the deed with Zeus or Hades. That's true, because I think didn't they rewrite her origin where she's like the daughter of Hades or something like that, or Zeus? Hades, I think, would be better dad, because I mean, it's kind of interesting if like she's the daughter of Hades and Persephone. That'd be kind of interesting.
How about just something off the wall that like is not, you know what I mean? Like it's like Hephaestus or something, you know, like, or Bacchus or something. I don't know. I just find it more. I think that I think we should explore more minor.
If not her, like someone on the island, there's like a guy. He's like one of Hephaestus. He has like a tiny little hand. Take my strong hand. That'd be kind of funny because he's the crippled god. Let's see. Alex Halo says a Misaka Mikoto is definitely better than Wonder Woman. Is that the one from Index?
Alex Halo is a compendium of stuff I haven't seen. A certain magical index.
Yeah, certain magical index. That's it.
Yeah,
it's actually pretty good. I've actually watched the first season of that. Certain magical index. It's pretty interesting because it has like everything together. So it has like religion, science, magic, vampires, like psychic abilities. It has like everything in there, and it kind of goes into it too. Like this guy made like an atheist version of a Gregorian chant, which has magic in that world, or has power. Let's see. Zeus created Wonder Woman out of clay since she adopted daughter. Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense then. Yeah, so she is the daughter of Zeus because he made her. Let's see.
No, I'm just pretty strong, Diana corrects him. And Trevor realizes his mistake, so he apologizes. I didn't mean to offend you. But that doesn't mean you didn't, Diana tells him. She walks back to the city, and once asked what all of this is, she tells them, "This is my ticket off of the island."
See, he's like, "Oh, I didn't mean to offend you. But that doesn't mean you didn't." like the first thing that happens is that she gets offended. It's like, okay, yeah, this is more new. This is a more modern version of her origin. Because I remember like this old school stuff. It's like I was mentioning that I watched Julius Caesar for the new video that I'm doing. I watched it twice, and Brutus's wife is like, okay, I know I'm a woman, but like I'm the daughter of this guy, and I'm the sister of this guy or whatever. And then so I might be a woman, but I'm strong enough to, my bloodline makes me strong enough to withstand whatever's bothering you, Brutus. And of course, what's bothering Brutus is treason. So he doesn't really tell her. I don't think. I said I don't remember him telling her. I don't think he does. But like, yeah, what's bothering him is treason. So he's like, nah, I'm not going to tell you. But like she's like, oh yeah, I know. I'm usually women shouldn't take on these sorts of things, but I'm strong enough to take this burden because you seem to need someone to help carry that burden for you. So I don't know. It's like it's like a knowledge based thing where. So what I'm getting at is like this guy Steve whatever should be like. He knows his place as a man. Like he knows that his place is to be the strong one, to be the one to take the pain, to be the one to be, go up against violence and go into the horror show of war. He's a soldier. I mean, that makes sense. So his mindset shouldn't be like, oh, I didn't mean to offend you. His mindset should be like, hey, babe, you should be over there and get me a sandwich. What are you doing over here? You guys fighting? What's going on?
From this point on, Diana did go to the mainland and she worked through Captain Trevor, and eventually Captain Trevor worked with the entire Justice League through Diana.
I think it's also the fact that hold on, let me see here. I think it was mentioned here earlier. Yeah, they do the surface level Greek mythology. And I think the same reason why, the reason why that is the same reason why they can't really use the Riddler that much, because it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work to dive deeper than surface level mythology. Same thing. It takes a lot of work to come up with a lot of riddles for the Riddler to utilize during the during his heists and stuff. Right? It's tough. It's a lot of work. So, the Joker is like, oh, he does all these kind of wackaloon things, and it's pretty easy to set those up because he's just wacky. He'll do anything. Like, okay, how about a hot air balloon? Or it'll pop and then it'll splash Joker gas everywhere or something like that. I don't know, or acid or something. And then, but the Riddler, you have to know exactly what he's going to be doing. You have to come up with the riddles that he'll leave behind to give Batman clues to what he's doing, and all that stuff. So it's a lot more work. And when you're in a time crunch of I've got to get this script out for next month, it's tough. It can be pretty tough. Is it underwater again?
No, I got you. That was just good.
Let's see. Will spend these 10 years. However, changing the attack on the cities from an alien invasion to Dr. Manhattan was ingenious of Zack Snyder. Also, Hades being her father was in Justice League cartoon, but was Zeus in the comics and movies. What's interesting about that is why Hades? See, Ares kind of makes sense because that Ares actually
makes way more sense.
Ares being her dad gives a lot more conflict because her main thing is compassion, right? So this means that she could have an internal conflict between her need to be compassionate and forgiving versus her need to fight. She could have this burning need to fight in there. Let's see. Let's say the truth is that, and also Misaka owns a manga has recently ended. Oh, I guess it ended. I didn't know she had her own manga.
I fundamentally disagree respectfully with the idea of the alien invasion thing that Zack Snyder changed. I don't think that Snyder really understood what the cosmic thing was about. Because it's like, well, nukes going off would be the worst thing in the world. But it's like, if you saw an alien, your entire worldview would change. First off, you would be like, what? You would doubt it, right? But if it was blowing shit up and eating people, you'd be like, well, that has to be real. You know what I mean? Like giant chthonic Cthulhu-style monsters. And I don't think that there's nothing in this world that would unite the world faster than some sort of cosmological incident. If there was an alien invasion on this planet, everybody would unite immediately because we share more in common with those aliens. You know what I'm saying? The only people that wouldn't, it would be like the Combine from Half-Life. It'd be people that want to just like bend the knee or whatever. So I think that it was really good for the story that there was a threat that had nothing to do with something humans could do. It just completely blows everybody out of the water. Because if a nuke goes off, we have plans for that. I don't think we have plans for Cthulhu aliens. You know what I mean? What's the battle plan? Really.
Oh, we have
how
Space
do you fight
Force
that?
now.
Space Force is already in contact with the Pleiadians or whatever.
We're about this next week. I wonder if Biden was in contact and we're about to send him a bunch of money because that's what Trump said a long time ago. I hope we never find aliens because as soon as we do, the governments is going to start sending them money. And see,
That's
but
so
yeah,
true. That is so
Space
true.
Force. I just Space Force versus Cthulhu. That'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah, you could do that.
Let's see. All right.
We have laser weapons. We're gonna laser the aliens. It's gonna
We got the best
be
weapons.
negligible.
You got the Supreme Commander Lukhtar of the Mars Invasion Force. We got him. We killed him. I heard he cried. I wouldn't have cried.
we got weapons from the Vulcans. Yes, they're real.
I just want to see Trump bomb aliens, start roasting the alien leader that he just killed.
He's a Trump with a triumph, like Roman
that'd be
times.
awesome. Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Isn't he making an arc to Trump? Like, is he making like an arc like what they have in France?
Yeah, he is. They want to. I think they want to. I don't know which one isn't real, but I'm pretty sure the arc is the real one, and he wants to make it bigger than the German French one or whatever it is. And then I think also they wanted to do another Washington style monument, but like a person.
Yeah, we should get some of these like Washington or something. Some guy. Especially with the guys that the Democrats hate.
What we really need is to add Trump onto what is it? What's that monument out in the middle of nowhere? The rock wall or whatever with the faces on it.
Oh yeah, the Mount Rushmore.
Is that Mount Rushmore? That's not Mount Rushmore, is it? It is Mount Rushmore. I don't whatever. I don't care about shit like that because I'm not like impressed by symbology like that. But like I really think that Trump should be on there just because that would make so many people mad. That would be that's the worst thing that you could do to the libtarded people or whatever is Trump's face on there because they would have to look at it. You know what I mean? They were like, I'm never going back there again.
They'd probably just leave the country after that.
Their souls would leave their bodies.
This is fantastic. Let's see. Here we go. All right, Chad. Well, that's kind of what I wanted to go over with Wonder Woman. I just had this idea, like, man, she's so underutilized, and there's so much potential for the character. But overall, I think they could have done better. And having Ares be her dad would be really cool because then her compassionate nature versus her like warring nature could be a pretty cool internal conflict. Like you could enter these things like you're nothing but a monster. You're bred for war. It could have that sort of thing. There's another character that went through that, not Kratos, but because Kratos is like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm a Spartan. I want to invade the Earth. But like something else, it's kind of like Iron Giant, right? It's kind of like Iron Giant, Mark from Invincible, like that too. Like you're a Viltrumite, you're made to conquer, and Iron Giant's like you're a weapon, you were made to conquer this world. It's like that would be Wonder Woman. She's born of Ares. She's a weapon. She was made to conquer this world, but because she was raised by Hippolyta, and Hippolyta raised her with compassion as a compassionate warrior. She became a compassionate warrior instead of a bloodthirsty one. And see, Will Spain, the 10 cheers says, but Mr. Manhattan, or Dr. Manhattan, the cosmic being that was already causing tension on the unknown, wouldn't it be similar to having an alien invasion? And cosmic being that used to be human attacked everybody? Well, the reason, the whole thing with the alien squid thing in Watchmen was the idea of it's that big one united thing that would unite everybody at the this alien invasion. And it was interesting because it was like a big thing that Ozymandias was making on his island. Like he brought in like comic book artists and stuff and scientists and everything to just engineer this thing. And so I don't know, it's like what happened if Dr. Manhattan said, no, I'm not the bad guy? With the alien thing, it's like it shows up and blows up and just devastates the city, and there's no one to question. I think that it might have been what Alan Moore was thinking. That there's this unknowable alien invasion out there.
I mean, the whole point of cosmic horror as a genre back from the Lovecraft days is that it's supposed to be beyond comprehension, like a color that you can't see type thing. Like it's a new, like imagining something that just doesn't exist that fundamentally undermines your understanding of reality. Buckminster Fuller understood how nuclear weapons worked, so he came up with ways to survive that would, like how to mitigate a thermonuclear war between the Soviet Union and America. They had plans for it. They thought that they could survive it. That's why Dr. Strangelove was the satire that it is. So if you take that and you go, what would be something that would be so worldview destroying that it would change how you view everything at all? Like something like somebody who died came back to life and told you that heaven existed and had proof. You'd be like, my God, you know what I mean? Or if you're coming, anything that's essential, coming back from the dead, aliens existing, magic is real, there's a secret underground Antarctic world that's like Midgard from Lord of the Rings, you know what I mean? All of those things would be incredible, but you don't believe them inherently because it's just so unreasonable. And that's what Alan Moore was trying to do. He was trying to think of what's like a nuclear bomb, but for your brain? You know, what fundamentally undermines your understanding of consciousness and reality?
I think it was interesting that this whole Watchmen series about it's about nihilism and nothing really matters ends up, but people don't have to think about or talk about this. Some people do. So I like this part, but some people like to forget about this part. Was that Dr. Manhattan, who was like the most nihilistic guy, who's like, I'm the puppet who can see the strings, everything. Like he knows so much more than everyone else does because he knows he's the puppet that can see the strings, and he can see through time, and he knows all this. He exists on like a fourth, fifth dimension. But at the end, he comes to conclude that life is not meaningless, that life is actually full of meaning, and every single life is precious and unique and interesting and almost like a scientific anomaly compared to the rest of the universe. And so that's kind of what he concluded. And it was pretty interesting.
Didn't you have that? You posted in a tweet or whatever on X where it was about the guy that was showing how your life is meaningless because look at how big this rock is.
Yeah, the planet is big. Yeah,
the planet. Look at how you're an insignificant like the Neil deGrasse Tyson type thinking.
Yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson, like, oh yeah, in the grand scheme of the universe, this is insignificant. Like, says who? Like, point to another species on another planet that is significant. Oh, you can't. Because we're the only ones that we know about, right? So I think the opposite. We're not only are we not insignificant, we are probably one of the most significant things in the entire galaxy.
Well, you could do that in any direction. I mean, somebody was posting the other day about how like it took like thousands of generations just to make you. You know, all of those people had to have sex or whatever, and then survive childbirth, and then their children, and then their children. So it's like actually, if you want to go absurd in one direction, then you can just go absurd in the other direction, and it's just as incredible. It's just as unlikely that you would exist. You're the most special thing on the planet because there's nothing else that's you. You are a specific result of all of these things. So it's really just like a psyop for your brain. Do you want to think life is incredible and interesting and worth exploring and worth engaging and worth seeing what happens, or do you want to just fucking wither like a meaningless weed in the grass, you know?
That's what Dr. Manhattan comes to the conclusion to. He's like, he sees everything, but at the end of the day, he's like, yeah, just every life, not just the human race, but every single life within the human race is such a scientific anomaly. It's insane because nowhere else does this exist, and the idea that Laurie exists at all is impossible. Like she is the daughter of a consensual reunion of her mother and the comedian after he tried to rape her. So like this is impossible. Like this, even given like the scientific anomaly after scientific anomaly out of like the impossibility after impossibility, you are an impossibility even from that. And you exist. And so that's kind of what makes her so significant. It's
I was just gonna say that's just a great example of how Alan Moore's writing is not going to give you an easy way out, where the relationship between the comedian and Silk Spectre is really more specifically from his psychology. It's like he thinks that everything is a joke. He's an absurdist. That's why he's the comedian, because he thinks that it's all funny. But in reality, what he's wrestling with is that his actions do have consequences, which is why those are his last words, because it's so absurd how everything pans out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like if he had taken it seriously from the beginning, he couldn't have been the comedian. You know what I mean? So there is that I didn't take it seriously, I regret that mentality.
Exactly.
And it's hard for his daughter to reconcile that, and then also reconcile that she's kind of like him in a way. And then that feeds into the romantic relationship that she has with the Night Owl. So it's like what she's searching for, what she needs, because how different is it that she goes after the most powerful being in the universe and then kind of wants to end up with this kind of soft guy, you know what I mean? Like a guy that is just a nice guy. There are all these parabolic arcs, and that's good writing.
She has she almost fell in love with her own dad, because like she was like starting to, when they first met, she doesn't know the comedian's her dad, so she finds him attractive because he's like, edgy bad boy.
Yeah,
and then she has to be torn away by her mom. She's like, no, none of that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, she gets older. She's like, she eventually gets with Dr. Manhattan because he's also an edgy bad boy and this god level thing. And then she eventually settles for the soft, dependable guy.
Well, that's the thing that's why he's the great one, because it's like Alan Moore goes, okay, first we're going to do the Electra complex thing, right? Like your father. And then we're going to do the Nietzschean thing where she falls in love with a god. And then she finds out that the god is not really paying a lot of attention to her. And then she wants what her mother didn't have. So it's like, oh, wow, this is just amazing understanding of human psychology that's happening here. And so that's why it's such a celebrated comic. And that's why after reading it, every comic was spoiled from. That was like the last comic that I went, okay, that's the high watermark. You know what I mean? It's what I've said before. The first time I listened to Led Zeppelin, I was like, yeah, this is pretty good. Where's the next Led Zeppelin? And then I realized there wasn't any. It was just that. One. And I went, oh, that's existence. Existence is realizing that there isn't more of the best thing that you think. You know what I mean? Even if you don't think it's the best.
Sometimes this is just it. It's just this guy.
Yeah, so let's enjoy that. That's kind of what Silk Spectre realizes about Night Owl. Is like, wait a minute, he has the morality that a superhero should have. He's not a gung-ho jingoist. He's not a guy that is compromised by anything other than his morality. He's a good guy. So why not be with him? And he's the only guy that's going to survive this mess.
Exactly. And he was supportive. And then also we have the other side of the psychology where Night Owl's is dour, kind of like down on himself, no confidence, very soft, let himself go. And then, Laurie starts falling in love with him. And then what happens? He gets a bunch of confidence. Let's go break out Rorschach. Let's go fight bad guys again. So it's just the whole thing of like, the idea that men need that confidence boost and women can give it to them. And that's kind of what happened to Night Owl. Like suddenly he went from soft boy, I don't want any trouble to let's go break out Night Owl and start defying the government.
and it's what's amazing is that when you realize that it's A Bronx Tale. Have you seen that movie?
I don't think so.
It's Robert De Niro, and he's directing. It's kind of a low budget movie. It came out after the Goodfellas stuff, and he plays a father character for this kid named C, and C is the stand-in character for the writer of it, Chaz Palminteri. And C is basically, the story is basically hinged between, if you want to put it in the psychological thing, you have your father, and then when you want to like surpass your father, what happens is you kind of get another mentor that's different. It's that like you have to kill your father type Jungian shadow type thing.
Yeah.
So what happens is C gets seduced sort of by the mafia guy because he's so cool and he's got the money and he's got the suit and the car and everything. And his father pulls C out of the club, and it becomes like the conflict comes to a head. And one of the things he tells C is he goes, you think that guy's a tough guy? Like anybody can use a gun. Try getting up to work every morning. That's a tough guy. And it's like, yeah, that's true. That is a guy that is able to do the right thing is substantially stronger than a guy who can easily do something that another person who has a moral code would not do. It's much harder to be a moral person. And I think that's what's interesting about the character of like a Batman, is that he's not going to kill somebody. Okay, well, that makes his job way harder. If you've ever tried to play a stealth game on non-lethal mode, you understand. Like you have a limited amount of tools to not kill somebody. It's easy to kill people, You just fucking kill them.
What's funny is that my video I've been working on, I explore all of this. I explore the idea that because today it's like, oh yeah, the real characters are the morally gray slop characters who are just like, oh yeah, I'll kill this guy, but maybe later I'll feel bad about it or something like that. But I argue that the characters that really struggle are the good guys, the ones with the moral ethical code. The noble heroes are the ones that really struggle compared to the anti-hero. Now the thing is, I do point out that there's some anti-hero, morally gray guys I do like Conan the Barbarian. I would say is morally gray sometimes, a lot of times. And then Punisher, definitely the Punisher. He might have black and white morality, but he's pretty anti-heroic. It's pretty morally gray. Because he doesn't really struggle, and I kind of point that out where because the main topic is Game of Thrones and George R. R. Martin and everything. I kind of go into the quote by Faulkner that he references, which is the only thing worth writing about is human heart in conflict with itself.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the core element of a noble hero. Like their morality is constantly tested. Where with an anti-hero, like what is there to test other than like maybe some outside challenge? But like if he wants to kill somebody, he just kills somebody. With Batman, it's like he wants to kill the Joker, but he can't do that because doing so will turn him into a monster. Because that's kind of the last bastion of morality he has left, and stuff like that. So, I kind of one of my arguments is that not only are noble heroes interesting and how then they do struggle, they're the ones whose core element is struggle, because they have a morality, they have an ethical code. They have something noble within them that is constantly challenged and stressed. Then I also go into the fact that there's something called lawful stupid, which is Eddard Stark and Robb Stark, where Game of Thrones does not treat them fairly. Like they make them so honorable that they forget to think. So therefore, lawful stupid. Let's see, Hutzelbaum. It's heavily implied that Dr. Manhattan created DC universe. I've heard. Well, yeah, because it's kind of implied because at the end of Watchmen, it's like I think I'll go off and make my own universe or whatever. The blackjack and hookers.
Well, that's the fun part, yeah, is that he's like, I'm gonna go be a god somewhere else, but then he's also dismissing humanity, which is like the contention in the first place. It's I love Watchmen, and it can't be surpassed in my mind.
It's really good
because earlier in the book, in the story, he's going, you could have stopped the comedian's bullet from killing that woman in Vietnam, but you didn't. Why'd you do
stood
that?
there and watched it happen. It's the comedian challenging this, essentially a god. He's challenging him, and he makes Dr. Manhattan think, I think. Look, Dr. Manhattan probably saw that coming because he's a puppet that can see the strings. That's his tragedy, where he can see it coming, but he can't do anything about it.
Well, this is the contention I have is I'm like, I don't think that he's a god. I don't think that I think that he is still, every time that he doesn't do something, that's his human side.
Yeah.
He's not paying it. Yeah, go on.
Technically he isn't a god because he's really powerful. But yeah, as I said before, he's a puppet who sees the strings, but he's not holding the strings.
Yeah. I mean, he could tug him. He could have stopped that. He could have done that, but there was a human part of himself that was like, I want to see what happens.
Yeah, there's curiosity. There's still part of him that is human. Let's see, Wolfsbane, and that's probably why he can't really do anything with the strings. Like he can't control them, he can't break free because despite everything, despite his immense godlike power, he's still human.
He couldn't even keep Laurie. He couldn't keep his relationship together because he was more interested in tinkering.
And despite the fact that he's ripped and can make himself into like 30 people.
Yeah, and she didn't accept that, which I think is also a very, very key aspect of it's another reason why Alan Moore is a genius. It's like, I want your undivided attention, and he's like, but I can divide in any direction. Like that's an essential conflict that can't just easily be resolved, and every conflict in Watchmen can't be easily resolved. That's the reason why it's great. That's what makes things that are in stories great. And that's what I look for as a writer now, as I go, what's the depth and complexity of the conflict in this story? Because that's what Scorsese would do in a movie. He'd be like, where's the conflict? Where is it? Is it between this person, and how does that resolve? And is there a resolution? Like, that's what makes stories great, not just a great setup. You need to have conflict that is like, man, I don't know.
Let's see. Well, this is third choice. By the way, that's a different level take on Ares. He's a protector of women since his daughter was raped by another god. You could have it where it's thought that Ares wanted Diana to be a weapon, that he truly loved Hippolyta and wanted to raise Diana. However, well, the thing is, I'm thinking of the mythological version of Ares is that he is, as Over the Sarcastic Productions put him, he's the god of dumb war. So Ares is kind of like the unpopular kid, even among other gods. It's kind of what the mythological role was for him, because he is like I'm going to bash you on the head with a club version side of war. Well, Athena is the goddess of war because she's the strategy part of war, but they're not better than the other. Athena is the mind of war, but she wouldn't be able to, like, put it this way, she can out strategize Ares, but you can't beat him in a fight. Like Ares could probably beat her in a fight. Ares is the god of, I'm going to go out there and bash you in the face until you die, part of war. Athena is the strategy. So if Diana would be the daughter of Ares, then that's kind of what she would be fighting with. Like she's I'm not going to think things through. I'm going to just punch you in the face. That would be kind of her conflict if Ares was her dad, because that's kind of what his role was in mythology.
Yeah, it would be interesting if she was more of like the tactician or something, but it's just I don't see them doing that very often.
Then her mother would, then she would have to be like the daughter of Athena, would be, she can't do that because Athena is a virgin goddess.
Well,
So
that would be really interesting, wouldn't it?
Excuse me, Athena, you have some planning to do.
Wouldn't that be interesting? Like, I mean, that's conflict. That's what we're talking about. Like an essential conflict. There's supposed to be a virgin goddess. What if she wasn't? Like, I don't know. You could do that. Is that disrespect? Is that respect? I don't know. Or what if it's like a virgin birth? But is it? I don't know.
Basically, she would have made Diana out of clay in this sense, I suppose. Let's see. Thought that Ares wanted Diana to be weapon, but he truly loved Hippolyta and wanted to raise Diana. However, he attacked the Amazons. These are the events that led to Amazons being on the island because he thought that Zeus would use them as leverage. Is that like a hypothetical? You could have it. I guess you could have it that way. I just think it would fit so perfectly for Dad was Ares, and that's kind of what her conflict would be, and because that would make sense because Ares is the god of dumb war, which I think is a pretty good way of explaining it. But really, it's a god. He's the god of war, the battles, the fights of war, as opposed to the brain behind it. Also, Ares is one of the only two gods that never raped a woman. Has never raped a woman. Ares is the second. Yeah, but if Zeus, they let you do it. They just let you. If they're king of the gods, just let you do it. So really, Ares is the second. Wait a minute. He can't be both, right? Oh, Hades second. Yeah, sorry, I ruined that. Well, Hades is like the most stable guy in the pantheon. Like he fell in love with like one woman and then went after her and then got her, and that's it. He's just he's the god of the dead, and he just kind of works all day doing his management position, hoarding a bunch of gold, and then goes home to his wife. She's a virgin goddess. There's more than one. Artemis is another one. Artemis is a virgin goddess because she doesn't like men. She's like the ultimate feminist. She's like, I don't really like men, and that's why I think she's the goddess of the Vestal Virgins, or is that something else? I think one of them has them, but Artemis is a virgin goddess, and so is Athena, I think. Let's see.
Thank you for joining us, and don't forget that we have a Twitter account and a
Twitter account. All right, chat. Let's see. Will Spain says Ares is the passion of war, not the strategic. Yeah. Athena is the strategic side.
Honestly, that makes sense why she could be the child of both of them.
Yeah, technically speaking, yeah. What if she was? I mean, kind of crazy. She has like both the strategy and the brutality of it.
And it also explains why she would be like ejected and like not wanted really, or like you know what I mean?
Exactly.
She's out of wedlock type. She's a bastard.
Let's see.
They didn't want me either, Superman.
They just trauma bond.
By the way, I always thought that couple made the most sense. If you're gonna couple,
Wonder Woman and Superman.
Yeah, like seriously, like what else would it be?
It kind of seems to be the case with Frank Miller. Like Frank Miller loves that chip
because it makes sense. It's like they're both similar. They're both like from another world in the world, and they're American way. Like they're the same ish.
And so people do like the ship of Diana and Batman, and it also kind of makes sense but only if Batman is in the Justice League, and if he's Batman in Gotham City, he needs to be with the Catwoman. That makes the most sense. Depending on which Batman we're following around. By the way, thanks to Jay Longbone, I found this article. I thought it was really funny. Let's see here. So it's called, wasn't Timothy Chalamet supposed to be a new kind of leading man? And essentially, I assume it's a lady.
Oh, this is fun.
Gushing over Timothy Chalamet, like, oh, he's supposed to be like this androgynous soft boy that we all loved, and now he's shutting out because he's getting older. Yeah. Now he's like, I'm awesome. It's not to be for granted. And I have to say that I agree with him because he puts a lot of effort in his stuff. Like they even talk about like he went to learn how to sing and dance and everything. He put a lot of effort into learning his craft, and now he's like, you better appreciate my skills. I put a lot of work in this, which is something that a lot of artists feel like just I put a lot of work into everything, so I feel like I really should be appreciated for my work. So it's really funny because he's like, no, he was supposed to be the chosen one. He was supposed to destroy masculinity, not join it. The toxic male. And see. But I just thought it was really funny. And Jay Longbow pointed out, Jay Longbow summed it up pretty nicely. He's like, so Timothy Chalamet is fallen because it turned out that he was a regular dude and not some soy boy, turns out. And see. There we go.
Well, eventually, every person realizes that other people's perceptions are power over you, and you want, as an artist, to express what's in you. And so, like, it's like, well, they let in Timothy because he did all of the humiliation rituals, and now that he has his own opinion and his clout, and he's the guy amongst the guys, they're like, wait a minute, he's speaking out of he's off the reservation. We got to rail him in.
Can't stop him now. He's got too much power.
He fucked a peach for us. So we got him. That's like, they did that shit.
He garners so much power from women that he's unstoppable now. He's got that power now. He can use it.
Lisan al-Gaib.
Let's see. Timothy Chalamet was supposed to be different. He touched stardom in 2017 when it didn't seem that Hollywood was able to mint leading men anymore, and masculinity was being questioned as a concept. Because that's why they are so disappointed, because he was supposed to destroy masculinity. He was supposed to prove that masculinity was a thing of the past and that we can move on without masculine men. But turns out it's not true. Not true. Waifish, pale, with a fine, wavy mop. He looked like a consumptive Victorian garret-dwelling artist and epitomized a soft boy type. So it's not me who's saying he's calling him a soft boy. It's the article is calling him a soft boy. A much needed here we go. Here's everything you need to know. A much needed antidote to alpha male smarm. There was an undeniable sweetness to him, with a vulpine irreverence flickering just beneath the surface. It's just all these.
Yeah, you can't be a man. You can't be a guy that is independent of what the Longhouse of Women, the Council of Women, the Sanhedrin of Women want.
He's supposed to be the soft, sensitive artist type, and to be, and to be like the final nail in the coffin of masculinity. It turns out that coffin doesn't exist. He's supposed to destroy the masculinity, not join them. Eltenberg says, funny how movie stars got mad at Chalamet for dissing opera. Yeah, they mentioned that too in this article, because like, how dare he diss opera and ballet? They're mad at that too. He's supposed to be some gay dude. They're disappointed that he's not some gay dude who loves opera and ballet and who just talks with a lisp.
But I don't understand this, dude. I grew up, and this is so funny to me because I had a mother who was like super duper focused on showing me what the arts were. Like I really think
me too, actually.
Like, she was super cool about that. She showed me all this Greco-Roman mythology stuff. She gave me one of the years. She gave me a book on the Arabian Nights, the Scheherazade stuff. Like, her entire focus was like, you have to know who Henry Matisse is, and you have to know what ballet is, and you have to know what high art is. Like, she wanted to send me to cotillion to have the right, using the right fork and all this stuff.
I went to there too. Yeah, they sent me to cotillion as well.
Did they really?
Yeah. That's
so funny, dude. You went to a finishing school. I didn't go there. My father did, though. But like, the thing for me that's so funny is that I respect it, but I also understand that Timothy is right. We don't give a shit about this stuff, Mom. I want to go shoot guns and dive into the mud, and I want to jump this motorcycle across a gap. I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's what I want. And but I respect the finesse. Like, Baryshnikov is an incredible athlete and he's great, but I don't want to go and stare at guys in tights that have their balls out. I don't know what to tell you. Like, no offense, I just don't.
My favorite thing to do. Yeah. Not really my top 10. It's not really on my top 10. I wouldn't say. Let's see. But
here's the thing. Here, by the way, as an addendum to that, when I was at performing arts school and I was talking to we had a dance teacher that was like, they gave him all this accolades, and he was married to a woman who was also a dancer. And I remember asking him, I was like, why did you choose this over this? And he was like, oh yeah, there were a bunch of girls in the class. And I went, oh, yeah, you get to, it's like, why are you a male cheerleader and straight? Because I get to stare up at the skirts all day long.
Yeah, it's like, oh, there's one cheerleader I like, and being a male cheerleader kind of puts me in a prime position.
It all comes back to the idea of male power and male sexuality being the same thing.
Yeah, they hate that.
They hate that because it's uncontrollable.
That's where they developed the term power dynamics from. And essentially, like they tell you it's supposed to be where it's so the man and woman can have the same power, but they don't like that. They want the man to have more power. They're attracted to men to have more power than they do, and more like in terms of influence and physical strength, but they don't like that. It's kind of weird. It's just, they want it, but they hate it.
It's the thing where it's like they call it the male gaze because just a male looking at something affects their world.
Yeah. How did what they say like, oh, I don't want to be objectified. They usually get more upset the fact that how dare you look at her and not at me. that's like the fat acceptance movement and something like that, and the trans movement. Like, how dare all these men want real women and not trans women, and how dare all these men want like these women who are below 200 pounds. Like, how dare you? So most of the complaints are about that, but they kind of really champion the idea of how dare you look at this, right? That's kind of where the real effort is. Like, don't stop looking at these curvy, attractive women and look at me. That's kind of where it always comes from when you pay attention to it. That's the baseline motivation. Stop looking at them and look at me. And see. The 10 Cheers is it's a dichotomy of women. They thirst for Henry Cavill but hate him for being masculine. Timothy, just a different flavor of that. Yeah, well, they like Timothy. When we go to this article, they like Timothy Chalamet because he was soft. He was very very effeminate. He was very very non-threatening, I guess. And they like the fact that he was straight, playing a gay dude in a movie, having an affair with an older man. They say that in this article. They like that. So they didn't like that's why the article is made, because they do not like the fact that he became like this egotistical guy who's like, yeah, I'm pretty awesome. I put a lot of work in my craft. I don't like ballet and opera. I'd rather go shoot guns. They don't like that. They wanted to be the soft, sensitive artist because they hate masculinity. And so different flavor of that. And then Will Spain, the traditional 10 Cheers, is like the male college cheerleader in dodgeball. He becomes so confident that he was able to win both competitions and get the girl. Yeah. Let's see. Also, it's hard on his sleeve. Timothy Chalamet has given away to what, if you are an online hater, so you get like an insight into what kind of writer this is for this article. You might be tempted to call a self-righteous punk with a coffee house goatee. Like, this is what they wanted him to be. They wanted to be that super liberal goatee coffee house artist guy who worries about stuff. He talks about intellectual things and who hates masculinity and hates going to the gym, which is apparently right wing somehow. Going to the gym is right wing. Let's see. Megalithon, this is the fighter strength, says, say what you will about Hiro Mashima, plot and story, but not red blood men or lesbian criticizes art. Who was that guy? That sounds so familiar. Hiro Mashima. Which one did he do? Fairy Tale. Okay, Fairy Tale. Okay, so yeah, I think he's one of those guys with like the exaggerated female form, like they're very curvy, kind of like the One Piece school, where it's like, yep, all the girls are just hips and boobs, which works quite well. Golden Reaper looks at the 5. The super chat thing, much appreciate it. Says another DC ship. I'm surprised it didn't happen. Is Superman and Poison Ivy, because Superman is about the sun and Ivy plant. Oh yeah, I guess I never thought about that before. Yes, Superman is kind of like a plant. Like, he needs the yellow sun. He gets his powers from the sun like a plant does. Never thought about that before. It is kind of funny. Let's see. And with that, chat, we are just a little bit over halfway to Pillarman, chat. We're over halfway there. Halfway there. Let's see. This article was so funny. I paid for the New York Times thing, so just to read it. The Endless Press tour for Marty Supreme, which Charlemagne is not. Here's what Blib mentioned earlier. Charlemagne now 30. Yeah, he's well past the age of like, well, just yeah, I'm gonna be a soft boy, and I'm gonna be the guy you like. I'm gonna be the soft-hearted guy, the humble guy. Like, no, I'm 30 now, and I've done some pretty badass things. So shut up and appreciate. He earned his third Best Actor. Look, after his third Best Actor Oscar nomination, I'm pretty sure that he's allowed to brag a little bit, right? He's pretty sure he's allowed to be like, yeah, I'm awesome. As we all have to get a different story of the Beast. They're like betrayal. Like they feel this random person writing this article feels betrayed by this celebrity that she's probably never ever met. Maybe he's been doing a bit of cosplay as the film's obnoxious, overconfident Marty Marzer, who aspires to be a best ping pong player on Earth, but doesn't feel like an act. It feels like they're like coping in like a. It's kind of reminds me of Conformity Gate from Stranger Things. Like, obviously, it's all an act by the writers. It's not really the end of the series. Like they're staring the truth in the face. Like, obviously, this has to be an act. It has to be a play. It has to be like a work, right? With the Ethan Ralph language, it has to be work. So they're showing it. Timothy Chalamet actually probably is saying, "Hey, just appreciate what I do." All right, stop taking me for granted. So, like, maybe it's a thing that he's doing. Like, maybe it's a work, but it's not. It's obviously not. Same thing with the Stranger Things thing. Like, oh, it's going to be a secret next season. Like, no, it's not. There's going to be spin-offs, but the show's done. Pretty sure. I don't think they were hinting at a whole new season because someone sat a weird way. David Musselman, thanks for the 5. No super chances. I wonder if being Paul Atreides made Chalamet realize it's okay to be manly. Probably, because he's played Muad'Dib. You have to play Paul Atreides.
Yeah, you can't really read that story and be like, I'm going to be that character, and then not realize like all of these other factors, especially like when these people are acting like the Bene Gesserit.
Yeah,
like exactly the Bene Gesserit describes what that. It's like the whole aesthetic and thematic aspect of the Bene Gesserit is that it's a woman-run organization that's trying to prevent men from being able to do this, and they are searching for the Kwisatz Haderach because they're scared of a man who can understand things the way that they do.
The male power.
Yeah, so he's he
is the testosterone-driven story.
He's our Kwisatz Haderach.
They thought he was going to be the chosen one, but no, he's our guy. It turns out he's a man, actually. But yeah. Turns out you can't really. It's hard to be involved in a story like Dune and not realize that being a man and being like manly, testosterone-fueled badass is actually pretty powerful and what he should probably be, not the soft boy that the feminists want. It's okay to be manly, yelling at people to bow to him. Yeah, it's like bow, get on your knees, with the voice and everything. And now he has the voice, technically speaking, in real life because he has power. And that voice is like the male voice. It's like the male power. The men have deeper voices, which is more commanding. And that's kind of what it is. That's what that voice is. Let's see. But he doesn't feel like an act. It feels like, though, he is unabashedly showing his true colors. He's smug and entitled. He's dismissive of opera. There it is. He's dismissive of opera and ballet. How dare you? How dare you, Timothy Chalamet? How dare you dismiss opera and ballet? Is this an insult? He's Kardashian adjacent. Why? That's his own sentence. Like, why is that even in here? He's Kardashian adjacent. He's saying things like, "It's been like 7-8 years that I feel like I've been handing in really, really committed top of the line performances." I mean, he has. You know what this is? The feminist was like, "Know your worth." This is a guy who knows his worth, and and they feel betrayed by that. And the thing is, Timothée Chalamet is a really good actor, as far as I know. Like, I saw him in Dune. I saw him with the King Henry V. He did pretty good work. I think he did pretty good work. I liked him in those movies. So, I think he does put a lot of work into his performances, and he's like, "Yeah, it's been 7 or 8 years. I've been doing really awesome performances. So, better recognize." This was an interview that drew backlash in December, in which he went on to say, "I don't want people to take it for granted." Okay, and why is that bad? Like, I've been doing really good performances for like 8 years. I don't want anyone to take that for granted. Like, I put a lot of passion and work into this. Appreciate it. Like, he wants to be appreciated. Like, the very idea of a man wanting to be appreciated for the hard work that he does, just unconscionable. Can't do it. Feels like a betrayal. How dare you want to be appreciated, Timothy Chalamet? Doesn't even seem that arrogant to me. Doesn't really seem all that arrogant. And I know they're using the worst lines. They're using the worst lines he's ever said on this topic. The new Timothy is through being modest and feels that it, bro. If he was reverse gender, this would be an article praising him. If his name was like Timothea or something, this would be like, "You go, girl. You stop. You know your worth." But because he's a guy, it's like, "Oh, how dare you? How dare you think that you're worth something?" The new Timothy is through being modest. See, that exact line would be said in praise if he was a girl, right? You don't have to switch any words. If it would be the same thing. If like, "You go, girl. This new actress is done being modest and feels that her moment of glory is past due." And then the whole article will be about how she's worthy and powerful and independent and all that crap. Apparently, we owe it to we would have this line too, probably, except without the apparently. We owe it to her as fans of movies or something like that. So yeah, if the genders were reversed, this would be a puff piece about arrogance and not condemning him.
We owe it to him. Nobody asked you. This is another thing. There's this like unwarranted self-importance thing that's going on. It's like, nobody asked for you to co-sign anything. You are not important. It's the same thing I keep coming back to when it comes to this art stuff. It's like, if you're a gatekeeper in my way, you need to get out of the way. This has nothing to do with you. This is what I want. It has nothing to do with you. If what you want is that you don't want me to have something, then I'm going to go through you. Or around you, if I, whatever I can manage, but like, get out of the way. You're in the way. You're stalling progress with this.
Something's in the way. Let's see. Here we go. Jordan Big Alex Funny Shit says, "Didn't Hades kidnap his wife?" Yes, technically speaking. And they said Belle got Stockholm Syndrome. So he kidnapped her, but I think she also loved him. And the reason why he had to kidnap her is because her mother wouldn't allow their union. So he had to kidnap her, but she was kind of okay with it, as far as I remember. And then, but he just had to kidnap her because the mother would not allow it. And then he kind of kept her there, but she was like kind of all right with it. But she also wanted the mother to be like okay with it too. So they eventually agreed that she gets to stay with Hades for half the year and her mother half the year. Because if she didn't want to be there, she wouldn't be there. Like, she was like, I don't want to do that deal. But because she actually does love Hades in return and knows she has responsibility, she's like, okay, we'll do this then. Well, half the year I'll be with my mom, half the year I'll be with Hades. So I think she really loved him. And it was that the whole situation with the mom not wanting her to be with this bad boy was the situation where it went wrong. That was the conflict. Anyway.
Unbelievable.
In the beginning, he did that thing culturally. He did that thing culturally. I like to just point it out. In the beginning, all right, he did that thing cultural sensations do to blast off so quickly, which is to appeal to women and gays. I know that's a thing they did.
Yep. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Which is to appeal to both women and gay men.
By the way, I mean, this person's basically just admitting that there's this gay female energy that's just gatekeeping everything.
And you just step on that road, you just skyrocket into fame, turns out.
If I just put the dress on.
But just put she later says that, Timothy Chalamet, she liked that movie where he was a young gay man in an affair with an older gay man. Interesting. And see. Here we go. Here we go. Make sure we got this going on here. All right. So Goldberg excuses Hades kidnapped his niece, then married her. I mean, they're gods. That's kind of what happened with it. I mean, what else are they going to do? Let's see. Could you okay, find a stretch that says, can we watch the Wonder Woman villains vid by M Enterprises? Nice, since today seems so Wonder Woman centric. Maybe after this, maybe. I think we're almost done. Let's see. Oh yeah, I have Afro Man open. You see the new Afro Man song?
No, is there a new one?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting because he's kind of naming some of the people who raided his house and then exposing their crimes and calling them pedophiles and stuff like that. And it's the battle hymn. But anyway, what's it called? Wonder Woman villains. Villains.
Say again.
Wonder Woman villains by M Enterprises. M Enterprises. Enterprises. Let me see here. Awesome. All right. We'll have this one ready to go, so maybe you have some time. It's in Will Spade. And then Cheers is also in some versions. Zeus has kidnapped Persephone and gave her to Hades, or he approved the kidnapping. I mean, he's Zeus. I mean, he's like, he can't really throw any stones. Let's see. Either way, he approved of a marriage without telling Demeter. Yeah, that's the main thing. Demeter wasn't very happy about it in any case, and that's kind of where they had to come to the conclusion that Persephone can't stay with Hades the entire time. She has to stay. She has to move between Hades and Demeter, like half and half. Which is why, and basically the story is to explain why we have seasons. That's kind of what the story's about. Why we have different seasons. Let's see. Almost an boring nonsense stream could mean 2 minutes or 3 hours, depending on just depending on how sidetracked it get. Really how it goes. All right, Chad. All right. So President Trump had been just sworn in for the first time. Hashtag Me Too was everywhere, and terrible men were being toppled. You mean powerful, influential men are being toppled so that women could take their place, and this is literally what happened, and was exposed. It was exposed on a much smaller scale. There was the whole backroom thing of women in Marvel, where it was a bunch of women in this Facebook back room where they literally plotted the downfall of male powerhouses, like men in comics. They had a lot of power. They literally plotted their downfall so that women could take their place. If that's happening on a smaller scale in comics, what's happening in Hollywood. Or they wanted to see, because why is it always men with this stuff? Why is it always men getting the downfalls?
Because we're supposed to. We're supposed to all just give up so that it's their turn and they can do whatever they want and da-da-da. It's all the same shit. It's like the same chaotic energy that's existed since the dawn of mankind that we're up against. It's just that we took out our own claws, to coin a phrase by Patrice O'Neill. Like, we chose to be like this.
We chose to defang ourselves.
Yeah, but there's no reason to
step aside. But yeah, like the thing is, if that sort of plotting was going on in the comic industry and the voice acting industry, because Top Vic Mignogna got hit. What's going on in Hollywood.
Me Too was just going after men.
That was it. Yeah,
there was no woman. That's all that it was. Like, the further away we get from these things, the more solidified my opinion is. Where it's like, none of the women that did anything wrong ever got punished for anything, and men that basically did nothing wrong or very little, like John Lasseter, still gets called a sex predator because he hugged people. Like, fuck you. Like, maybe we shouldn't have women around. Like, that's what that is. Like, if women are going to be accusing people of shit and bring in their catty little longhouse, behind the scenes gossip, unprofessionality, maybe they shouldn't be on set. Now, I don't think that, but if you want to play this game, why don't we just crush this shit and be done with it?
Yeah, because they topple a lot of powerful men with knowledge and expertise, and that's kind of why we have like the coffee fetchers in charge now. But they have no expertise, but they do have power. They have no idea what they're doing, but they have power.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they brought on all these Indians to be CEOs. They're willing to fucking fire everybody and bring in a bunch of fucking randoms from everywhere. But they don't have any fucking. They didn't build the company. They don't know how to build this shit. They don't know. They can't build anything. They don't know what they're doing. But the people above them who hired them, know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah. So Me Too was basically just to topple the powerful men so that women could take their place, and that's kind of what it seemed like would happen. And onto the scene wafted by the delicate Mr. Chalamet. Oh, man.
Delicate. They call him delicate. Yeah, that's what I want to be called as a man. Delicate.
Delicate with Chalamet. Pretty sure calling him delicate is how he got this. Like, hey, stop taking for granted. Shut up, bitch. Sit down. I'm Timothy motherfucking Chalamet. That's how you got this. You kept calling him delicate. It's kind of like you started calling Anakin Skywalker Annie. Boom, Darth Vader. He was collectively embraced by our culture as a 21-year-old emo angel who promised, with his breakthrough performances, to deliver us from toxicity. He did? When did he say that? When did he say this? And see, Wolfsbane, the next 10 years is actually Overly Sarcastic Productions has a video on Hades, and Persephone ends up that Demeter, Persephone, and Poseidon were the gods of the underworld, and later versions added Hades and removed Demeter and Poseidon from the underworld roles. Let's see. And ends up that Demeter, Persephone, and Poseidon were the gods of the underworld, and later versions added. I mean, the underworld is huge. That's kind of. It's not just like, it's not hell, right? That's not what the Greek underworld is like. It's not hell. There is a hell. I think it's called Tartarus, but they also have Elysium. Like, Elysium is also part of the underworld. So it makes sense there would be more gods there. But yeah, I think Hades ended up he's not the only god down there, even now, because there's Hades, who is the god of the dead. Then you have, I think, Thanatos, who's the god of death. So, and then you have Chiron, who's, I'm not really sure if he's a god, but he is a supernatural entity who kind of ferries you across the water. Let's see. He sent millennial women to a frenzy. This is kind of what it's really about. It's like millennial women decided to be obsessed with him, and so somehow
women on birth control.
Exactly. The thing is, the millennial women decided to put all this crap on his shoulders that he did not ask for. He just showed up to work and produced performances. But the women that fell in love with him were like, okay, he has to deliver some toxicity. He's a soft boy. He has to do all this. Like, he's supposed to be their great hope. That's a thing he never wanted. That's another thing he never talked about doing. He was just an actor. He just wanted to play good roles and be in cool movies. But a lot of these fangirls kind of put a lot of responsibility on his shoulders that he didn't even know he had. Like, he's supposed to deliver some toxicity. That's kind of weird. What do you say that? Let's see. Let's see who described him to GQ as feminine. Yeah.
Dude, this is why you have to get camouflage, bro. This is why the feminine, sensitive, and so, like, that was his way in, and now he's in, and it's like, boom, now I have to deal with him, dude. Comparing him to all these men, but they're all men doing men shit, and that's why they make money. So it's this constant tension between artistry as being a gay liberal and commercial, Hollywood as being a money lender or something like that. You know what I mean? It's just so funny to me.
And see, it's just really so far. Timothy Chalamet has been called a soft boy, delicate, feminine, sensitive, and sensual.
They're called, basically, you're like, you don't want to hear that about yours. That is not what a masculine person wants to hear.
And now they're surprised. What? He's trying to lash out down to 30? Like, what the hell? But yeah, this was kind of funny. Is this
more audacious? This is what I was talking about. He's having an affair with an older man. See, they want you raped. They want you to wear the dress. Like, this is the sickness.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that whole thing where they got really obsessed with him. They love where he's in the roles where he's in like gay roles, like where he's a young, barely legal man involved with an older man. See, Chalamet played a teenager having an affair with an older man at a time when the representational ethics of the subject were a hot debate. that's the roles they want him in. They want him to be that submissive soft boy, you know, getting dominated by an older gay man. That's kind of what they wanted to stay in.
Wow,
but
that's
how dare he do that?
so it's like the feminine experience in a man is what they're praising. They're not praising that a man is a man. They're praising that a man is a woman. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
The soft boy, the soft, sensitive, delicate Mr. Chalamet.
He's
Oh,
just
man.
like me. Just like my Fujoshis.
They must have been listening to Father. Have you seen the channel Punky Doodles? Yeah, they made a whole comic video about that where he's like, yeah, funny stuff, and it's YouTube short. Yeah, it's pretty good, but it's true that short is like, okay, I'm the god of the dead, not the god of death. It's different, all right. Like the god of the dead is the bureaucrat. The god of death is the emo boy everyone loves. Let's see. They compared like Hades is like a banker. Like he wears banker clothes and just counts money all day and counts souls. And see, Alex Halo, there's the $5 super chat. Speaking of, there are people lying and saying Manika and Gachiakuta is non-binary. She said she was straight. Now that the sending threats to her. Yeah. So there's a quote floating around where the Japanese manga are just tired of this bullshit. There's one mangaka, there's one, I forgot who it was, but they're like, I hate my Western audience. That's what they say. Because they're tired of all the tantrums and stuff. They just hate the Western audience that they're getting. I just wish I could find the quote real quick, but yeah, they just hate the Western audience a lot because of all the crap. Because of this. Like, oh, but this character's trans. This character's non-binary. Are you non-binary? Are you trans? They want to shove that cult stuff onto them, and like, no, it's gross. I don't want. None of my characters are trans or gay or any of that stuff. I think that's what the quote was from. Like the fans or the fangirls kind of insisted that one character is trans, and that the author spent so much time trying to say no, this character is not trans. It's like, I just hate my Western audience. That's what they said. I wish I could find it. I had it around here somewhere, but that was it. Yeah, there was definitely a quote from that. It's like, I hate my Western audience. Stop it. And this is kind of why you have a lot of people kind of from Japan saying, okay, we're just going to make manga and anime for us. All right, we're not even going to consider the Western audience because they're just lunatics. All right, all they care about is gay dudes kissing and trans characters. Like, no, and we're not even allowed to have any nuance. We're like, oh yeah, because, well, you know, the Japanese, they love the male character who dresses up as a woman. They think it's funny. Usually it's a funny character, but you do that, the Western audience gets a hold of that. Like, oh, this character's trans. Like, no, this character's not trans. It is gay. Like Ed from Cowboy Bebop. They want Ed to be trans. They even cast Ed to be trans.
Yeah, they don't want to accept that he's just a tomboy.
Yeah, it's just tomboy. So like, even Ed's like, no, I'm a girl. I'm not a boy. I'm a girl. They can't accept that. They can't accept that. But he's like, oh no, Ed has to be trans, and they even cast Ed as trans in the live action Cowboy Bebop that no one remembers. Well, actually, people do remember all for the wrong reasons. But that's kind of what happened. They can't stand it.
I've been playing a bunch of the Dishonored games because I've been going through all the Sims, all the Harvey Smith games like Deus Ex and Deus Ex Human Revolution, like all of them. And right. I love that. I never really locked into that kind of gameplay, but I really like what they did with that. And so I'm playing through Dishonored 2, and you get this side mission, and it's this woman that wants to, you have to like rescue a body or something like that so she can bury it. And then you find out that it's a trans person, but the only way that I knew it was a trans person was by reading the wiki. And so it's like, I didn't even notice. And it's like,
almost like they made it trans like afterwards or something.
Yeah, but it's just like, it's such a non-distinction. It's like, oh, this is just an ugly woman. Oh shit.
I didn't know. It's always the lady.
But it's like my organic living, the way that I am, the biology that makes me who I am, how I wake up every day and I go and I take a shower and I go to the supermarket, like how I do. That's my real life. That's my experience. But then you have all these people out there that are like trying to like tell me what my experience should be and how that experience is wrong. And I just find that to be like, It's just more proof to me that ideology is the enemy of the living. Like, we have people that are like, you have to lock into this belief system that's a rigid square box, instead of realizing that like we're living people and like we make our own choices and we have our own opinions and they differ, and that unique quality is and the nature of the universe. You're not just going to lock into any kind of ideology like this and control everybody. It's never going to happen.
Exactly. It's not. That's kind of where they go wrong, is that they're trying to control things and force things into the box of their perspective. But it just when you do that, people kind of go away from you. Like, it's kind of, they're pushed away from you. And the only way to keep them in your circle or keep them under your control is to have control them with fear and institutional dominance.
Yeah.
Let's see. By the way, I found it. Hold on. Let me get this up here real quick. So here's from I hate my Western fan base and the childish tantrums.
Perfect.
This is what it's come to. Actually, the two superchats. It's the same author I was talking about. Is this it? Because there's like, I think that was it, where they insisted on the author being trans or non-binary or a character of theirs, and they kind of kept insisting that no, this is dumb. I'm Patrick. No, this is Patrick. But that's the crazy part of this. Like this, they're trying to take over Japanese. They're trying to control Japanese manga and anime with their trans cult nonsense, and they're just pushing away the Japanese creators. Like, no, we don't want this.
Well, what's funny to me is that like I fundamentally disagree with a lot of the Marxist viewpoints, but I do think that there's something to the idea that there is a tension between people that are trying to do things from a top-down perspective and people that are trying to do things from a bottom-up perspective. So like I just think that the nomenclature of the class system is incorrect. So like if you have these people and they're trying to gatekeep, they're doing what they claimed we were doing with like back like 10 years ago, how it's like, oh, you just don't want women in games and you don't want this and and now that they have been handed over the power, or they have the consultant stuff, or somebody's giving them the opportunity to do that, now they gatekeep our ideas. So it's like, it never was really about that. It's that Dune thing where it's like, when I'm weak, I appeal to your sense of reason and freedom and peace and whatever like that, and fairness. And then when I'm strong, I destroy you. Like, that's exactly the mentality.
It really is. And they make no qualms about it either. Remember that back then in 2016 or so, it was like during where instead of trans, it was women. So it was like the feminism thing. And that's kind of when we got the Black Canary and all these feminist revamps of superheroes. And what happened was, the Marvel movies are coming out, so the same outlets will have articles saying, dude bros and gamers are just all trans. They're all not trans, but misogynistic, and they objectify women. Same outlet would put out like a article about how they're gushing over the shirtless scenes of Henry Cavill and Captain America, and they would title it like, we know it's a double standard and we don't care.
Well, this whole article that we were looking at was about the female gaze.
Yeah, with Timothée Chalamet, the delicate, sensitive.
Oh my God, he's so this and that. Gushing.
Exactly. I was like, it's kind of creepy because they don't want him to be an adult. They want him to be like a teenager. They want to gush over this like soft, sensitive teenager, artsy bro.
It's literally all this. It's literally all the stuff they complain about when it comes to like men or boys and mangaka or whatever like that. It's like, oh my God, she's in a schoolgirl uniform, but it's like, yeah, but you want this guy to be this twinky gay guy that's getting fucked in the ass. Like, that's what you want.
Old man. What
the fuck is wrong with you?
And let's see. It's like you can't judge. Like, stop judging us. All right, I've seen what make you cheer.
Exactly.
I learned about romanticy.
Did you see Wolfsbane's cheer, by the way?
Let me see. Here it is. I was supposed to cheers, dude. Is the same energy when Gen X women were sexually harassing? Oh yeah, that's
very
right.
good
when
point.
He was young.
Very good point.
Yeah, they all wanted the little cutesy Justin Bieber and everything. It's not the same, but it's kind of like it does remind me of how insane it got for Adam Driver when he was Kylo Ren, and how they wanted like his baby to die and his wife to die, so that he could get with Daisy Ridley in real life. It's kind of creepy.
Yeah, what the fuck is that shit?
Yeah, I know Sharon. I know Sharon was the guy. He was the ferryman. But I forgot. Like, I don't think he's a god, right? I don't think he's like a demigod. I don't know what he is exactly. Let's see. All right, got everything there. So back to the article.
The worst article ever written since the last one I saw.
Ever made.
Ever
Who wrote it?
made.
I did.
Yeah, right. The John Leguizamo thing.
I did. Let's see. Hot debate, but there was no arguing the ingenue Timmy or the sticky scene that launched 1,000 peach emojis. Yeah, of course. That's what they wanted. They wanted to be like, oh, he's getting railed in the butt by an old gay man as a teenager. That's what they wanted.
That's so transgressive. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Let's see. But it's just it is kind of creepy. It's like someone did mention. I did see someone mention this a long time ago, where the insane, intense interest in Timothy Chalamet is based in, like, pedophilia or something like that. And I didn't believe it then, but after reading this article, I was like, is it real? Are they just gushing over him because he just looks like a little boy? Is that because like, oh, the delicate, soft Timothy Chalamet having sex with the old gay man? Yeah. 1,000 peach emojis. Whether you giggled or cried as tears streamed down your face, streamed down his face. The bracingly sentimental final shot, like the money shot, is a bravura, a display of male vulnerability as captured on film. Since then, Mr. Chalamet has reached a level of fame where he isn't the bow to you guys anymore.
Exactly.
Since he Wonka, let's see, hold on. Learn him to sing and dance as Willy Wonka and carrying the Mammoth Dune franchise on his back. Yes, because
we took him for granted. What do you mean? He's not your object. He's like, it's all projection, man. It's always projection.
Everyone knows it wasn't Zendaya who did anything. Zendaya sucked in that movie.
And that her character is not even the character from the story either. So
her character is this disapproving look. That's kind of her character.
Yeah, and that's not like, it's so funny. I was listening to the Dune audiobook the other day when I was doing the dishes, and I had this thought. I was like, I should really like put the audiobook next to the movie more often. I did it for like one segment, but it's like, there's a scene where he kicks Jameis's ass, basically, and then one of the lines is like, Chaney looks at him with like admiration, like he slayed the dragon, so he's sexy, and like, yeah. And she's the one that was helping him, and so it's like we just don't have that dynamic in the story at all. It's like, it's almost like he's trying to earn her approval, and she doesn't approve of him, and she storms off at the end of part 2, and I'm like, this is not the Chaney character. The whole point of Chaney was that she like believed in him. And that's supposed to be a pure form of love between them, not this weird tension.
Like a lot of these this modern female characters, kind of like, do you even like the guy you're in love with? Because I feel like you don't.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's written by somebody who's pissed off.
They do not want them to be in love with men. They just don't. Let's see. By the way, chat, we're just $17 away from Pillarman. Pillarman is getting really close now. It's just $17 away. It's a. I think my scraggly Clint Eastwood types over feminine pretty boys. The thing is, it's so like the thing is, if young women are into like the feminine, like K-pop guys, the androgynous guys,
always have been. Always have been, by the way.
Yeah,
since Donny Osmond, you know what I mean? Since they invented the child pop star, the younger, like the super young women who have not developed past a certain point, always like that boy, energy.
The boy band. That's why the boy bands has got this hordes of teenage girls that kind of clamoring for them. Yes. But as they get older, they want the Henry Cavill types, the hairy guy with the the more developed muscle tone and stuff like that, the Chad dude. So that's usually how it goes. So, but there's like a contingent of millennial women. They're just obsessed. They never stop being obsessed with the Timothy Chalamet types, and this is kind of what we're seeing here.
Well, I think that everybody is stunted. I think that I think the old world understood way earlier that like you're not really a kid anymore. There's something between 13 to 16 that's not a child and not fully a man, and that's, again, to bring it to Dune. In Dune, Paul is 15 years old and he's fighting adults, and that's kind of what the point is. And he's like raised from birth to be this machine, you know, and he doesn't have any children friends when he's a kid. All of his friends growing up were adults, so he's tuned to adulthood. So there's something that's missing in modern times where we infantilize people, and like it's like the teenage pregnancy thing. I don't know why people are surprised that people from like 16 and up are getting pregnant. Like that's your highest like hormonal level that drives you to do that. That's like what all teenagers are obsessed with, is relationships and getting the girl, and like everybody knows that, but we don't make any room for them because I think that there's some sort of weird like resentment towards the young for being young, that we can't hand them any kind of responsibility or power. So it ends up being that you're 30 years old and you're having a kid when you should be like 35 and maybe almost towards grandfather status. You know what I mean? Like we have spread out the rites of passage so that everybody is not supposed to be fulfilling their goals. They're supposed to be spending interim time period. You know, it's like, do you get what I'm saying here? Like the idea that like people should be adults and fully functioning like human beings in their early 20s, but we've turned it around to be like, no, actually at 25, that's when you're fully, you know, you're a, what part of the brain do they say is fully grown? Your frontal lobe or something like that. Like they make up science for these reasons to ignore human behavior that's existed for thousands of years. Like that's
why they have the whole thing now where it's like you can stay on your parents like insurance up to 25.
Yeah, and it makes sense in this world because we're not opening we don't have any there's no more guilds or whatever that you join and you're 17 years old and you go to work and you're smoking a cigarette and you're with the guys that are older and you're learning a trade. Like we don't do that anymore. We don't have a society. Like that's my opinion. Like we don't allow children to become adults. We don't allow adults to become responsible members of society, and we don't foster it at all. It's like a weird arrested development, as Davina says in chat. It's like that's exactly what we have. We have everybody arrested development. So it's not surprising that people in their 30s are collecting Funko Pops and hitting middle age and having midlife crises. Like that's why. It's because all this time has passed and you haven't advanced that level. You're supposed to keep advancing, but it's an economic reason for this, and it's a cynical reason for this, and it punishes people, and it brings down the birth rate. Like that's what the issue is. You're putting kids, and I say kids like 16, 17, 18 to like 23 or whatever, on birth control instead of giving them the opportunity to become adults on their own time. You know what I mean? Because not everybody's going to be the same. And I'm not saying something weird or creepy. What I'm saying is let them become who they are supposed to be. Let them discover themselves, and you stay out of it, or you help them. But everybody just wants to get in everybody's way now. It's like kicking the ladder down, and I'm so tired of it.
That is the nature of it. Like everyone wants to like, I got here, or I didn't get to do that, so you don't get to do it. It's kind of the whole thing. It's like just I don't have like a stable thing, stable job, so you don't get to have it.
Yeah, I mean my dad
idea.
My dad came from a bad situation, sort of, from his background. So he left, you know, he had a bad home life. So he left when he was like in his teenager years, like 16 or whatever, 17. And then he went off and did his own thing. It's like, I can't imagine in the scenario when I was 16 that would have been an availability. Not that I had that experience, but what I'm saying is that the world has changed from an able-bodied person wanting to learn something and engage to, you don't have the credentials to do this. You haven't earned the right. What right do you have to have this or that, or to do this job? Like you didn't go and take this course. You didn't do this. And it's not all of it. It's like, you don't want a doctor that hasn't spent the time, but not everything needs a credential to start learning. But that's where we are. So like Timothy Chalamet going through this experience is like, he has to go through the gay rite of passage to be a straight man, and he still gets shit on. You're a black comedian actor. You have to put the dress on. That's what I'm talking about.
Because they have to demasculate, especially black men. They want to demasculate black men like crazy. That is their favorite fetish.
Nothing is more uncontrollable to the powers that be than an empowered, intelligent black man who's going his own way, because it doesn't fit.
They hate that. They hate that. Like a black guy who doesn't vote Democrat, a black guy who doesn't conform with the ideas of ghetto culture. right? Remember they don't usually eat enough Caribbean food or something.
And I get it too. That's like my favorite kind of dude, where it's like, no, I did my own thing, because you can't help but respect that. It's a guy that doesn't take the easy way out. It's a guy that walked off the plantation. It's a guy that created his own way. He's got his own style. Like, how can you hate that? How can I be racist, right, against that? How can I be anything against that? Because that's something that I respect as a man. So how can I disrespect a man? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Let's see. Lady Faisal says, everyone wants to be a community and meddle. It's a smacking into the evangelistic foundations of American culture. It's actually interesting to watch them fail. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's because I mean, and some people don't believe in the great man theory, but really every person that is successful had to have some sort of individual drive, regardless of what anybody said. I mean, if we counted the amount of people that said that they wouldn't amount to anything from their teachers, and instead they went and did their own thing, oh my God, we would have lost so many people, and so much art would not have been made, and so many great works would not have been made if these people just crumbled because their teachers said that they would never amount to anything.
Exactly. It's just, the thing is, masculinity is based in defiance. It's this is what drives men to defy bad guys, to defy injustice and things like that. That's why superheroes is a kind of a male centric thing. That's very male to just stand up against bad guys. Batman's very male, like to stand against the system and not comply and fight back against it. It's very male centric. So it's just you need to be able to, as a man, defy these things. That's kind of or defy injustice, defy what you're being told to do. Let's see. Posdiana, actually, 15 months support. Appreciate 15 months support. Awesome. Thank you much, Posdiana. Wait till they learn about Malcolm X. Exactly. Let's see. But here we go, chat. But there we go. I just thought that article was kind of funny.
It was really good.
This is a really funny article.
That kind of stuff is easy fodder to trash.
Absolutely. Like, oh, the delicate Mr. Chalamet.
I mean, that to me is like, I would be embarrassed to write that kind of shit. Like, I get. I mean, it's like if Tarantino wrote an article about how great this woman's feet are. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, her dainty and delicate feet, trotting along. But
then it'll be hash, because how dare you objectify a woman's feet?
Well, that's what it is too. They're turning him into this fucking object, and I've said that, but what do you want?
And then what was it? Oh yeah, one comedian he went over The Notebook, and he watched it with his girlfriend. He's like, and she's like, oh, is it the greatest story ever made? Like, you mean the one about the cheating whore? She's cheated on her fiance to go back with the guy she used to have sex with when she was a teenager. And like that story, like this, if what about him? What about the fiance that she promised to marry? What about that guy? No one cares about that guy as long as she's happy, right? And he's like, if they just switched it up, it would be the most hated movie by women. Where if it's like about a guy who fell in love with a girl in his high school years, then he had to move away, and then he fell in love with a new woman, and they're about to get married. Then his old high school love interest comes back, and then he breaks off the engagement, dumps her with no questions asked, and then just goes with the high school crush or whatever. Yep. I don't think that he's like, that would be the most hated movie by women. Like, you call it The Playbook instead of The Notebook. But
yeah.
Going off of what you said earlier, I wanted to mention that this is again, I always point this out. This is mentioned in Hero 1,000 Faces.
Yep.
Joseph Campbell was like, in the United States, there is a powerful impetus to never grow up, to never mature, to stay a kid forever. Let's see.
There's something sick between we idolize childhood like it's the golden years, and then we're expected to live most of our existence under a yoke, and then we get our retirement, which is our golden years. And it's like, that needs to be rethought. There's something about that's fucked up. It doesn't make any sense, but it's the power of all of the top-down rulers that have that. It's like a virtual serfdom that we've invented. That's not normal, and that's not what America was founded on either. We had a pastoral system. It didn't have to be like that. That's the modern nuclear family, conflation, corporate, you live within your means, taxation. Like, that's that system. That's not our life. That's not what you wanted. That's not what anybody as a kid wanted. That's why there's so many neets and there's so much chaos, and that's why there's fucking people trying to subvert by bringing in immigrants that are willing to work for less money, and why there's so many scams nowadays. Like it's really that we are just crabs in a bucket as a society instead of being like, oh, you're doing something incredible. That's awesome. Good job. You know, like that's where we should be at. But we have this weird divisiveness that's used against us. And it creates these people who have just a chip on their shoulder forever. Because the other part of it is if you fall for an ideology that you realize is wrong, or you have doubts about, or you join a party that you disagree with, you realize that it's either I'm with these people or I'm all by myself and I made all these mistakes and I wasted all these time. It's like a sunken cost fallacy. So everybody's just investing in the debt of sunken cost instead of realizing, wait a minute, let's step back and do something different. Let's do this because it's not available, because it means that you have to rebel against the consensus, the conformity. There's so many times that I get into conversations with people and the answer is, well, it just works like that.
Yeah, exactly. This is how it just works, bro.
That's all it is.
Let's see. Well, here it is. Here's the problem with Wonder Woman villains by M Enterprises. Check it out.
This has gotten to the point of annoyance, but like Wonder Woman's pretty cool, man. Regardless of how much you know about her lore or core comic stories, she paved the way female superheroes are seen in comics and broke the mold of female characters always being seen as damsels in distress who couldn't fend for themselves. Despite being one of the most recognizable superheroes,
I don't really think that's important. I think it's more important that she has good morals and is a hero. Then, we need to change the way women are seen in comics. I don't think that's that important. Like, just read a good story.
and a member of DC's big
Also, I want to point out that both of these women have races of people that invade America. They had a whole story about how Hawk Girls people just invade the Earth, and then there's a whole DC line called Amazon's Attack where Diana's people invade America.
3. Most average superhero fans couldn't tell you much about her mythos beyond a surface level. Many people mistake this for her mythos being very
It's a Alex Haley too says, wait, Wonder Woman has villains in comics? Yeah, who could have guessed?
boring or uninteresting, or more specifically that she has a lame rogues gallery, when in actuality, people's lack of knowledge on things Wonder Woman stems from the lack of adaptations over the decades. There are so many
because no one cares. Like, no one nearly cared enough to make it. It's all Batman and Superman to a lesser extent, but mainly Batman. Everyone's obsessed with Batman.
Batman depictions in comparison that it's hard to imagine anyone with a normal fondness of these characters incapable of naming 10 or so Batman villains off the dome. Wonder Woman has never had a proper outlet to expose her villains to the general public.
I read Court of Owls. I didn't really like it that much. I always thought that was going to be a cool storyline because the mask was cool and the premise is awesome, like this secret underground society of like elites that kind of run Gotham. And I like in the storyline of Court of Owls, right? It's implied that the Court of Owls set up the assassination of Martha and Thomas Wayne, or at least manipulated into being a thing. And then we find out that there's a weird thing going on where they kind of bring people back from the dead or keep people alive, and he had to fight like his great grandfather or something like that. It was like that part was a little weird where they had talons of these enforcers. I think it would have been a little better if it was just Batman versus this super secret society syndicate. But the whole thing where they have these like supernatural enforcers that they keep alive forever, that's a little weird. But everything else was pretty cool. Where they, the concepts were. I didn't really like the storyline that much. And the Will Smith introduces Wonder Woman played by a guy. Yes, that's the main thing. That's where the origin of her original weaknesses came from. The guy was really into bondage, so and he had this whole philosophy about submission and how women should have power through submission. It was actually true. This actually is true. But yeah, his whole philosophy was like, women should submit and have a power through really powerful through submission and can control men through submission and everything. And he had this treatise. Like he was like a philosopher. Thing is though, it wasn't just him. he had like a wife and a mistress or whatever. They're like at least one of them was a feminist, and she also added some of this stuff in there. So it wasn't just him, but he was the guy that kind of led the charge. But I don't know, it's weird. He was like I think he had like a mistress and a wife, if I remember correctly. But yeah, the bottom line is he was really into bondage and stuff like that, and so that kind of made its way into her weaknesses.
Is it Shibari Wonder Woman?
But the thing is, what's really funny is this is also what happens in this funny comic book series called Empowered, where she has like this tissue thin bodysuit that gives her power, and every storyline, at least in the beginning, every storyline is her having that suit ripped and torn, and then captured. But it's never sexual. Like it's just like she is in bondage situations and everything. But the bad guys are never trying to like rape her or anything. It's just comedic. It's more comedic. Like, oh my goodness, wardrobe malfunction. And it's kind of like a satire of superheroes or something like that, like a friendly, good-natured satire. But then later on, she gets like a boyfriend, and then there's more drama and conflict, and it gets pretty cool. But it started off as, I think that the series Empowered started off as like this guy that had got a lot of commissions to draw attractive female heroes in bondage, and they never paid for it, so he kind of like turned it into other things, and eventually turned it into the series Empowerment. Let's see.
And flesh them out. Unlike Superman and Batman the Animated Series or Teen Titans, even lesser known characters have had mediums to focus on their comic continuity like Static. The dichotomy seen between Superman and Lex Luthor or Batman and Joker has never been touched.
I remember Empowered. It's actually pretty good. Yeah, it actually is pretty good. It's like surprisingly, once you get past the first few issues that are just kind of comedic and funny, it actually gets pretty good, I have to say.
Touched upon for Wonder Woman in media. And even when it's being attempted with characters who would fit that role, like Cheetah, the most popularized adaptations of those characters are never done justice, thus making it seem like she has no compelling villains. It also doesn't help.
Can I just ask a question to chat? Has there ever been a situation where Wonder Woman does the truth rope thing and it like backfires, where like they're just spitting facts? Like it's, you know what I mean? Because that's what when I was looking at the silly, you know what I mean? Like Freudian stuff. Like, do you get what I'm saying? I don't have a good example of it, but like imagine like she ropes some guy and the guy's like, you're just doing this because you feel powerless or something like that, and he's just like smiling because it doesn't matter. He's totally down to tell the truth. And it's like
ties some guy up, despite being only 13% of the population.
Yeah. He's just spitting facts and not lying at all. And she like takes the robe off because she just gets sick of hearing it.
Oh, one of these guys.
It wasn't a movie, because that's a good counter to that. Like being totally honest about your intentions and your beliefs and having nothing to hide is like what that. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with Ghost Rider. Like if the guy just wasn't afraid of the vision thing, that power that he has, where you can like see your doom or something, be like, let's do that again. Like I want more of that. I want more villains that are able to stand up to the powers of the superheroes that they're so confident. That was the stupid
part about Ghost Rider, the first movie, was that the bad guy of the movie was pretty much invincible to that because he had no soul. But then his whole goal was to inject 1,000 souls into him. And so I guess that would give him a lot more power. But then the moment he does that, Ghost Rider is able to defeat him. Like, why did you do that?
I would just love a scene where Wonder Woman has him tied up and the Justice League is asking him and he's just spitting facts about everything and like being real philosophical about it and not discomforted at all and justifying every one of their positions, and it just bothers them. Like that, because
people have been shot by trans shooters than ice.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff like that. Like or because like again, these people love their gray villains, but they don't really. There's only modern stuff is it's two ways. It's either we need to be simps for the villains, which means that it's justified based on whatever negative stuff happened to them, or they are actual villains that we hate and nothing that they do is justifiable. There's never a point of view that just is antithetical to the morality of the protagonists, because
did he have a bad childhood?
Yeah.
Was he sad when he did? Kylo Ren was able to redeem because he was sad when he committed multiple genocides with
they really just want to do the thing where it's like you rope the teenage bully and it's like, actually I'm into guys. Like that's what they want. They just want it to be that kind of.
I just want to be loved, that sort of thing.
Yeah, they want that, but like it would be very, very key if that played into it. It would just create. It's that conflict I'm talking about. Like there's no easy way out. That's the best story. There's no easy way out.
There's no easy way out. You know what? One of the greatest TV cartoon villains was a girl, was Demona from Gargoyles, where she lived like 1,000 years, and she lived a life of suffering, but none of it was by other circumstances. It was all her fault because of her paranoia and her hatred and everything of humans.
Yeah.
So everything that has ever been wrong, everything that has negative that has happened to her, has been the direct cause of her actions. But
yeah,
she can't stand that, so she blames humans, and it kind of became this entity of vengeance against humans. It started to even hate her own beloved Goliath, and basically her husband / ex-husband, I guess. The point where there's one point called City of Stone, where she like turns the entire city of, I think, Manhattan to stone for her own vengeance, and then they kind of were able to call upon the good guys. Were able to call upon the Weird Sisters, and they were able to hypnotize her into giving them the passcode to unlock everything and save everybody. And they kind of go into her psyche, and they kind of break it down to where her real self is that she's just a lonely person. So the password is alone. And so we get to see all that stuff, but it doesn't fix her. It doesn't make her better. It just makes her angrier because she had to confront the reality of the fact that she's not really wounded. She is the person who did the wounding. Like she's not really oppressed or anything. She's not really a victim. She's just been the person who's destroying her own life, and she keeps getting in her own way, and she can't stop. She's self-destructive, and that's and she won't stop doing it. She won't stop being self-destructive. There's even a point where she goes back in time to convince her younger self to be more ambitious and be more power hungry, throw Goliath to the side. And her younger self was like, "Who the hell are you? Get out of here!" She's like so terrified of her like future self that she's like, this is an evil person. It's kind of like in Death Note where Light kind of gets up to the Death Note and he doesn't remember that he was Light or he was Kira, and he just starts to think that, man, Kira's just that. He starts to hate Kira.
Hold on a second. You're underwater. I can't understand what you're saying.
All right, hopefully it's better now.
Yep, try again.
But it's like during that like in Death Note when Light gives up being Kira, right? And he can't remember that he was Kira, and so he's like, "Man, Kira's an evil bastard. I can't believe this guy existed." So and then he remembers. It's kind of like that. It's kind of what new Demona is like confronting old Demona or younger Demona, where it's like, "What the hell? You're evil." At that point, she might be a little ambitious at that point, but she loves Goliath and stuff like that still. Well, there's Spade. How we say?
Yeah, go on. I was just gonna say that it's like there's people that do things that we consider evil, but they think it's good. So then the truth doesn't really matter. It's a judgment call.
Exactly. It's why they're so obsessed with like getting rid of the idea of good versus evil, and so now we have everything must be gray morality.
Yeah,
the modern way of making a villain is that you can only have a true evil villain if you juxtapose it with 2 or 3 sympathetic villains. Puss in Boots is in 3.
That's interesting.
Well, you need like the baseline bad guy that just no one cares what happens to him. He's like this. He's just evil, and then you can have a sympathetic villain on the side, because that way you can have the sympathetic villain who might have a turnaround of redemption, while you still have a bad guy to fight together. I think it did a pretty good job.
Chat has a lot of interesting ideas that are different from mine, and that's an exciting thing, because it's like, yes, there are different ways to tackle this issue, and that's the fun part. And I also think that sheds a lot of light on the good, evil, and storytelling tropes. It's like we're not all going to agree. But there's many different roads to Rome. You know what I mean? There's many different ways to look at this stuff, but it's so obvious when one of them is the wrong direction. You know what I mean? You're like, that doesn't play out. That doesn't go anywhere. That loops back on itself. And there's a lot of these stories that do that.
Exactly. See. All right, let's check this out. Oh, by the way, chat, we are just $5 away from Billiman. We're getting really close.
Wonder Woman's mythos likes to fluctuate from writer to writer in the main DC Comics canon. Prolific Wonder Woman writer Gail Simone talked about how new writers disregard things that came before in previous Wonder Woman runs to start over with their own take to a degree that wouldn't be allowed for characters like Batman or Spider-Man. You can crack down the quote-unquote definitive adaptation for a particular comic character that defined how they were seen and depicted in the years following said adaptation. Batman the Animated Series gave us Harley Quinn and the modern iteration of Mr. Freeze, along with popularizing some of Batman's greatest adversaries and stories. You look at Spider-Man the Animated Series or the Raimi trilogy, where retellings of the symbiote arc in the movies and shows have been altered since the 90s. You see the impact the MCU has had on the public perception of previously lesser known characters who have grown immensely in popularity.
It's a glib. There's a find out your hand says kick glib. Well, I know. I guess you gotta do. You gotta do.
No,
You don't have $5.
that guy sucks.
Go play this. By the way, LD, have you ever watched any videos from the channel Dune? I don't think so.
Over the years, there are consistent defining traits the average Joe can latch onto. I guess the closest Wonder Woman has ever had to a defining adaptation is the DCE.
Here, Wonder Woman is like the perfect character. It's the only weakness he has is that she's a tiny bit weaker than Superman. That's the main thing.
You and maybe the Linda Carter 70s show, but then you look at how both of those versions neglect the core nature of Diana's mythology. We know this for a fact, as to this day, most people can't name many of Wonder Woman's villains or even side characters. The Wonder Woman
This guy's
solo
making good
movie-
points.
I know I can't. The only villain I know from Wonder Woman's Rose Gallery, I think, is like Cheetah, but only because she was in like the Super Friends thing, I think.
I think this
Already shot.
definitely just goes into that theory that I have where it's like a lot of guys are more focused on what, they're like, I want to be Batman. I don't want to be Wonder Woman, so I don't focus on it.
Yeah, I want to be Superman or something like that.
Yeah.
shot himself in the foot by establishing the fact that all of the Greek gods besides Ares were long dead and buried. The mere existence of Wonder Woman in the Amazons is tied to the Greek goddesses, as they were responsible for bringing her to life from clay and granting her all of her grand abilities. Having it so that they aren't around in any capacity severely limits the comic stories that could have been told, as well as the adversaries Wonder Woman herself could go up against on the big screen. Many would
True.
argue that Wonder Woman herself is very paradoxical when taking into account her being raised in an island of warrior women and trained in various forms of combat, while simultaneously being very compassionate and exhibiting a maternal-like kindness.
I mean, she's powerful. I mean, these are good things about her. At the same time, it makes her a difficult character to work with. Dramatically in a story is that she.
See, there you go.
This is all
She's
really good
strong.
stuff. This is a good video so far.
She's
Yeah, very good.
she's a kick-ass warrior, but she's also compassionate. She's wise. So it's like she's headstrong, but she's wise. It's like, well, how does that work?
Yeah, it's tough. Like she's obstinate and headstrong, but it has the impulse of a younger character, but is also wise.
You could
know?
write that so well. You just make the actions directed, and you make a lot of the reflective bubble like the narration for her character inside, like conflicted. Like she's thinking about it, but she's taking action.
Yeah. I could mention earlier, we could be kind of interesting if she was a daughter of Athena and Ares, where she has both.
It's like it's like if you wrote the Punisher, but he wasn't killing people,
Which is Batman.
which is Batman.
Like Batman.
But this is what I'm saying is like you could do a Wonder Woman story, or you could just do Batman.
Just do Batman. And then the modern day DC is just like, yeah, we'll just do Batman.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
It's
That's
like-
the best character. Like I don't know what to tell. You know what I
And
mean?
he's
It's like
the best. Like he's like the most marketable name they have today, I think.
All of these things that are attributed to her in the comics are paradoxical.
Another prominent Wonder Woman writer, Phil Jimenez, explained well how her being a warrior and a pacifist isn't really a contradiction when you actually take a look at her history. Diana grew up in Paradise Island that valued love, peace, and
That's why giving her a sword and shield is kind of odd to me, because like in Super Friends, she just had a rope and bracelets and she could fight.
man, I don't know. I really feel like I think that she should be more Batman. I think that she should have a cave or whatever the fuck, and she goes in and then there's a bunch of weapons on the wall and she just chooses the right tool for the right job. I don't think that she should be like held back, but I also don't think that she should be out randomly killing people. I mean, the problem is that if you're writing a character that has compassion and you're writing it from this feminine perspective, obviously there should be like a sociological element to it, but that doesn't play into the idea of a pulp comic. So you could write a really eloquent treatise on how to do violence and war and diplomacy with her, but you need to actually do a lot of work to develop the character out from a template of comic bookdom. It can't just be X-Men or Superman or fighting. It has to be a deliberate ideology kind of thing. It has to be about something. And I also think that Wonder Woman's villains should probably be just like Amazon, where they're kind of hidden from humanity. Like there should be other factions that are not Amazonians, if that makes sense. And there should be other places on Earth that are parallel to Earth that are like the Amazons but aren't. You know, there should be another secret place, another historical place, more gods.
There's just so much potential with Wonder Woman, just not take advantage of it.
Because it's scary. It's like a risk. You have to really go out on a limb and say, "Oh, I don't know if people are going to like this." But you already have a character that's people would accept a lot of different variations on it if you just if you did it respectfully. You know?
Yeah. So far, like the main thing they got for Wonder Woman today is like, let's give her a bigger sword.
Give her deagles.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. It's just gun and sword. Like this, she goes like the Dante route.
Yeah,
Megalithon. They should have $20 super chat. Thank you much, Megalithon. Appreciate it. Holy shit! It's a. I'm definitely of the manga I'm definitely to manga and harem brain. Harem brain. All got a harem brain scheme going on. All my ideal for WW are not Western comics saying been milling a dumb story. Like what if she's like a reverse harem? Like, it's a story about she gets like all these male heroes are in love with her or something like that.
Yeah. Go. I like this idea. Continue reading.
Been milling and dumb story idea because I came up with a dumb title. Through the clerical era, I was assigned 2 government girlfriends.
No, this is a good idea. Like you have like a Shinji character type from like, you know what I mean?
I'll be right back. I'm going to do one
for sure.
thing real quick. I'll be right back.
So, Megalithon, my take on this is that's actually a really good idea, and the meat of it is a guy. What you're describing is not that different from like Archie and Veronica style dynamic. You have the tsundere or whatever and the yandere or whatever. I don't know how to pronounce Japanese words. I'm sorry, I'm a stupid gaijin. But the idea, like, if you have a tension that is one character wants to go in this direction and the other character wants to go in this direction, and the man is doing everything that he can to maintain his job and to please maybe his mother or aunt who wants him to get married, and maybe his friend doesn't like this one and then his other friend doesn't like this one, but then he is learning to come out of his shell and be a man and be responsible through this interaction between the two of them. You have tons of ideas. So what I would do is I would take all of the ideas that you can think of and just write them onto cards. Be like, okay, put that on the wall, and you can subtract or you can add or you can rearrange these things. But honestly, that's a really good idea. I don't know if it needs to have anything to do with Wonder Woman or superheroes, but that as an idea is really good. I think that you should, if you have it in you, assemble something with that, because not only do you have an audience that would enjoy that's built in, the like manga people would love that. It's also something that has a lot of material that you can get out of it. Because think about how many Archie comics there are where he's trying to juggle 2 girls.
Yeah, good idea. Fantastic. It'd be kind of funny if like they had oh my goodness, what a dream come true. I got a government girlfriend and she's like exactly what I want. And then he gets then boom, the second one comes in. Like what? Another one. And it's like something that it's like a girl that he didn't know that he wanted, but finds out that he does. So it's kind of it'll be the dichotomy between the girl that he does want, that he thought he wanted, and the girl that he finds out he does want, but didn't know he did.
Yeah.
And see.
For sure.
Over here. Carmen said this is a final super chat says like how Dio is just straight up evil while Diego Dio could have been a good guy. Part 7 Dio was a tragic villain. Yeah.
One of the reasons why I like what is it, Legend of the Galactic Heroes, and why I like the Gundam stuff is that they play with that. You know what I mean? There is evil in this world, and then there are opposing energies. You know what I mean? Like China and Japan might be historical enemies or whatever like that, but it's not because one side is evil and the other side is good. It's just because they both have needs. So you get a conflict. It's going to be like that. And a lot of people will appreciate that when it's presented to them, and you can do a lot with that. And I think it actually does people a service when you have that. I think that the people they want it to be artistic, they want to be edgy, they want to have that contrarian aspect, so they want that misunderstood villain characteristic. But I think that that's just a mask for evil people that want to be seen as good most of the time. I think that a person that will write opposing viewpoints with fairness is not taking a side. Whereas a lot of these modern ones, it's more like they're doing a polemic. They're like getting on stage and saying, actually, I'm a good guy. You're the bad guys. It's not the same thing.
To me, the Jedi are evil.
Yes.
In my perspective, the Jedi are evil. And then also the devil can quote scripture for his purpose. That the Shakespeare thing. Will Smith chooses that just right here, like Shazam, kid with wisdom of Solomon. He's supposed to have that. I'm not sure if he always does, but he's supposed to have that. Let's see. Alexander, there's 100 cheers. As Gilgamesh and Fate also has 2 weaknesses: his ego, which is why barely ever tries in most fight, and his other weakness was having a key made that can open and close his magic vault that only a few people can use, and Ishtar just so happened to be one of the people who could use it. To take away his powers at the wrong moment and get him killed.
Reminds me of Samson mixed with Achilles.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. It's a Positiana 5. That's super chat. They much appreciate it. Appreciate you, Positiana. Ares is Wonder Woman's brother right now. I think right now. But Ares and Athena being her parents actually sound pretty interesting considering they hate each other. Yeah.
Well, it makes sense that she's the goddess of war, but she's a woman, and that she is tied to the human world, and that one of her closest friends is actually an alien. And I think that just is so, I always think about ideas in terms of what can we do with them? And not only what can I do with them, but what could somebody else do with them by obeying the same rules? So I think that most of the things that we don't just like them because they're a good story. There are stories that are like that. Like we talked about Watchmen before. I would never, ever sign on to do anything Watchmen. Maybe if it was like when they were the Minutemen and it had nothing to do with anything, but I would never try to follow Watchmen up because it's like a complete story. But most of the stuff that I enjoyed as a kid, like Star Wars or the Marvel comics or whatever, I was like, I can write a story with that character too, because there's potential. So I see a lot of potential in Wonder Woman being linked to different characters or having slightly different changes to the origin story that could then be something else. But that's what's interesting about the character. And that's why my favorite characters back in the day, after I started to read this stuff and I had read most of it, I was like, well, what's Martian Manhunter doing right now? What's the minor character doing? Because let's see what you could do with that. And then there are characters it's almost impossible to come up with something specific because it's such a narrow-minded idea. Like, I don't know what to do with Flash, really, because he just goes really fast. It's like if he can just go faster than everybody, that solves a lot of problems. How do we then extrapolate that to a story that's not about that power? How do we do a story about the character if all of the solutions are he's just so fast? You know what I mean? Like that's the thing that made interesting Superman, the Man Who Has Everything by Alan Moore again. That's why that story is interesting to me, because it's not about his ability to punch something to death. It's about a conflict that's within him, or how Batman in Dark Knight having to be in 2 different places and he can't. Like that is a hard. What are they called? Hard counters in fighting games or whatever. Like soft counters are interesting for conflict, but a hard counter makes a story.
Like the moral checkmate in Watchmen. Like what do you do now that everything's in place? And do you reveal to the world that it's all been a lie and then all those people died for nothing? Or do you keep it and keep the peace?
Do you live by your principles and die by them, or do you adjust and live and then you're compromised? Like those are real questions that people have that are the deep ones and the scary ones. Yeah. How do you live? How do you live with being defeated and having your reputation destroyed? What do you do then? Do you continue to fight for your right? You know what I mean? Like if you're a king and you get dethroned, are you going to try and get your kingdom back? Or what do you do then? Like your entire right has been taken from you. So there's a lot of things that you can do with those hard counters. Like if Superman lost his powers, what would he do? He'd have to be a news reporter again.
Yeah, it was just a regular guy.
How would he even get to the Fortress of Solitude?
The whole cancellation thing is this one more, or Born Again. It's Born Again, where he gets everything torn away from him, but still has to make a comeback.
Exactly.
Let's see. Will Smith says, but Billy is still headstrong. Boy, with that wisdom. Yeah, it's very headstrong. Absolutely. Let's see.
Strength through her training. Essentially, she was molded in an environment to shape her into the ideal ambassador to the world. But what makes her so different from her Amazon sisters is how she views the outside world in a more idealistic, hopeful perspective. The Amazons have had interactions with mankind and had a tragic experience before being sent off to Themyscira by the goddesses, growing a disdain for the
There it is, being chained up by a man.
outside world. With Diana's upbringing being shielded from man's world up until she left the island, that's where you'll see the differences in her ideology. The New 52 had somewhat of a stark contrast to how Wonder Woman would normally be depicted pre-New 52 and in DC continuity post-New 52, seen in Rebirth and beyond. It's like the God of War equivalent narrative is the thing people latch onto when not knowing much about Diana's morals or beliefs. You might have seen this one panel where Diana is explaining to Superman the reason she doesn't have an extensive rogues gallery like Batman, Superman, or the Flash is because she deals with them the proper way. And I'm not gonna lie, to put it frankly, this comic panel, that shit was ass. No. Wonder Woman isn't some bloodthirsty monster who prefers to kill her enemies. Her entire mission was to teach mankind the ways of the Amazons to further encourage peace and compassion in the modern day. Her humanity.
She's supposed to be compassionate. That's kind of her main thing, is compassion. We could say Superman is more for temperance. Like, they all have a lot of the same virtues, but Superman, like, with his is temperance, because he's all about having ultimate power and having to balance it out. Or Batman is more like justice, because his whole conflict is fighting internal conflict between justice and revenge. Like, he wants revenge, he wants to kill these guys, but knows it's wrong. So that's his struggle, and compassion should be hers, which means that she should have a struggle between not being compassionate. But that should be her struggle. The thing is, she doesn't really struggle that much. She's just compassionate.
Humanitarian efforts like the Wonder Woman Foundation emphasize sharing the teachings and values of the Amazons, which include but are not limited to teaching farmers Amazon methods of soil preservation in ecologically damaged areas and building schools in poor rural areas. During Greg Rucka's run on Wonder Woman prior to his Rebirth run, Diana was an ambassador for Themyscira, representing the nation for the UN using public outreach to spread her mission for peace, as well as establishing a Themyscira embassy with a team to aid her in her ventures. The idea of Wonder Woman killing is only used as a last resort.
Wait, why do the Amazons know how to build schools in, like, under third world countries, and why do they know how to farm at all?
Well, all of this stuff is really interesting because once the solutions to problems get outside of what the super powered stuff is, then you're faced with really tough questions that the audience might not understand. Like, building schools in third world countries isn't going to change the third world countries except in the way that you manifest it. It's going to be the same country. You have to figure out how to do very, very drastic changes for that to change to be the way that you want it to. And then you have to justify that the way that you want it to be is the way that it should be, is intervening in the this is like the what was it? The prime objective or whatever, the prime directive. Yeah. It's like, you don't really want to interfere, but once they are capable of something and they can make first contact, then you want them to join you. That makes a lot of sense. Once you start interfering, even though you might have to for a resource that you need, now you're dealing with something that is a completely different. It's not you. You can't impose your will on that people without imposing your will on that people. So if you wrote a story about that, that would be a really interesting story about that. But it's like, how does it that the Amazonians are going to fix the third world or whatever? You know what I mean? Just by doing this or that. It's not that simple. It's like when people say Batman can just donate his money to solve world hunger.
It won't do anything.
Like, the reason why people are hungry has nothing to do with the reason why they're not fed. It's exactly. Like these are two different things.
And so he says, I know they have schools there, but why do what do Amazonian knowledge have in their knowledge repertoire that is unique to them, that where they can build schools in third world countries better? Because that's kind of what he said. He said that, we made the Amazon Foundation or something that shares the knowledge of the Amazons with the world, which included better farming techniques and being able to build schools in third world countries somehow. Like, we can't do that in the way that Amazons can. They have some secret knowledge on how to build schools in third world countries, apparently, that we do not know. Like, how do they attain this knowledge? Like, I don't think the Amazons are going to be the people that really have, like, a secret knowledge about farming. And
well, I like the idea that the Amazonians are like they're superpowered people, and maybe they're interfering, and that could be like the gray side of it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
they're
the whole thing was like
infiltrating.
the whole thing was that the Amazons would go raid villages for men to breed with. Let's see.
What would the modern version of that be? Like, do they plant their male concubines or whatever into positions of power and then use it to manipulate the countries for their own benefits?
They get simps. It's a golden reaper. $10 Super Chat. Superman can fight crime without powers as long as he stays away from the Justice League. In his standalone comics, he's trained, disciplined, and can fight ninjas. Yeah, he actually does know a lot of martial arts, and he's really smart, oddly enough. But I think it's enough for a day. We're getting pretty close. We're way past the mark on the usual end goal here.
Let's go.
So, chat, we did, in fact, reach Pillarman. So what we're going to do is we're going to transition over to Pillarman. Over to stream memes with Pillarman. Here we go, chat. So lower your volume, raise your volume, whatever you prefer. Loud clip incoming. Pillarman. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, yes, best chat. Fantastic. Thank you much, everyone, for generosity. Very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. All right, let's see here. Call of Batista says, do you watch Primal yet, Glib? It's really good.
No, I'll download it right now, though.
Call of Batista, thanks for 2. Appreciate it. Let's see. Is it over yet? No. Due to horrific experiences, we no longer have a public bathroom. Oh, man.
Yep.
Why are any of us here, really? Zoo security guard, I'm asking about you specifically. That's a funny brain rot. Scientists warned humanity will go extinct in 10 years. Lamau, what a fat cat. That's what it's like surfing Twitter. There's a big problem with sustainability from Servita 3 says, a big problem with sustainability and ethics when it comes to food is that so few people actually know where the food comes from. Like, it's so sad how many people eat macaroni and cheese. Macaronian.
I love macaroni and cheese, bro.
Not macaroni and cheese. This is back like from the macaroons, the macarons from the island of Macarona. The macaroni and cheese is the best cheese in all the world. It can only get on the island of Macarona. It can't even point out macaroni on a map. Yeah, these poor uncultured swine don't even know where macaroni is. Let's see. Most but the cheers to that. The New 52 the New 52 way they get more Amazons is that they have an urn that reincarnates harmed women across the world. Oh yeah, I think I remember that. It's Amazon babies. This is how they got a trans. Because a male soul went to the urn. Yeah, when I heard that, I thought that's pretty modern and stupid and retarded. Because it's based on the idea that women are all exploited and enslaved by men and everything, and so of course they're all going to be harmed and murdered at all times because 9 times out of 10 they step outside, they're going to be murdered by some ravenous wild man in the streets of a first world country. Let's see. Can we make a reality show where we make baby boomers try applying to jobs for the first time in 30 years using their own advice and see how quickly they have a mental breakdown? Yeah. Also, they can't use life experience. They have to do it as a freshly out of college person. Like, okay, you need a suit and you need 20 years of work experience for an intern level job and a degree, and you're 21, 22, 21, 22. Then you need like 15 years of experience. Let's see. We're not allowed to work from home. Okay. The client texted you at 9 p.m. yesterday. Why didn't you respond? Excuse me, I'm not allowed to work from home. You're allowed to work from home if they want you to work if the client wants you to work from home. That's kind of what the corporate idea is. Also, you don't get paid for it. You're supposed to do it. So, why does a robot need tits? Why doesn't a robot need tits? Yeah. Answer that, genius. Hey, is that sign for real? Yeah. Okay, you're on fire. The customer is always right. Why'd you do that? And skins inside out. Stop. When you have multiple talents, but you're still useless. Insane. Wonka, congratulations, Charlie. My chocolate empire is yours. That's wondrous. Now, first thing will be handling the PR crisis. Wait, what? A lot of kids die in your factory, Charlie, and there's a rumor that you apparently own slaves. The world's not ready for the dog hot. Let's see. Choosing your starter today. Litton's revolutionary line intimidate? Oh, I guess it's a move. Not. I was like, shouldn't it be is intimidating, but like has intimidate? Okay, it makes indie battle easier. Poplio evolves into the water fairy prima. That's dual type rules the entire game. You can try as a kid. What do you mean? That's a Totodile. Choosing starter Pokemon as a kid is like Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur. You swine. Get good, scrub. Gets my paycheck, my car. Is it for me? Disney winners. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's like conspiracy theorists keep getting things right. Experts say that's dangerous. Stop getting things right, you assholes.
Who are these experts?
Yeah, just experts. Do they even exist? Are these experts in the room with us right now? Let's see.
They're plotting our demise.
Let's see. After we drive out Darkseid, perhaps I'll stay to deal with Eggman. I would that. That's really
He's underwater!
With accurate aim and hilarious results. Vote for Mixoplick if you want high taxes. What are you laughing at? These old school comics are pretty funny. They stuff like this happens all the time. These old school comics, because the writers just like whatever. All right, is it fixed now?
Yeah, it was fine.
Fixed.
It was fine. It
Let's see.
squeezed in and out.
Let's see. Master Bruce, the bat plane was terribly damaged in the last battle. Flash can. Let's see. Would you like to go out to dinner with me, Bruce? Yes. That's weird. I've known you for years, and I never agreed to go out with you before. Are you okay, Bruce? No. Oh. It's like why are you saying all this? Because he's stepping on the lasso of truth. Damn. It's just great meat on those things. Let's see. And then there's a wave. She splashes Batman. It's this giant wave. I think Batman's like, that's what I thought would happen. Let's see. All right, people, we need ideas for new cartoons for DC Comics. Batman. As this guy's first suggestion is this Batman.
Always.
A minor male DC character like Kite Man. We could give Wonder Woman her own show now. Get out of here. Waiter, more else, please. Well, what are you waiting for? Do it. Let's see. Signature look of superiority. I am tired of Earth. These people. I am tired of being caught in the tangle of their lives.
I love the one of Dr. Manhattan where he's like, I'm tired of dunking on these suits with my giga brain or whatever.
That's if he were written today, it's kind of what happened. Old men anime, a young old men in anime. I'm tired of the tangle of their lives. This day DeVito. And see. I guess it did happen at one point. I don't this is weird. And see. I got it. And then for forcing yourself on her with your stinking breath that reeks of alcohol. How do you think the Zeus you keep boasting about would react to knowing his son is acting like a drunken assaulter of women? I'm proud of your son. That's accurate. Yeah, it's like that's my boy. Actual summary of Greek mythology. I'm going to put my dick in it. Everyone, don't put your dick in it. Too late.
Zeus understood what the deal was.
Look, my dick makes history. Okay. Let's see. Actually, I go by Thanatos now. The extra H is for amazing. I don't know what this says because I can't read it. And then Pit Hades. Hades. I'm not a boy. I'm a girl. Oh, the accuracy of the trans person being disappointed by this fact is pretty on point. And that makes me a sad panda. Pages. What is this?
Punderworld?
Let's see. Oh yeah, speaking of this crap, where all these Tumblr arenas like to remake the Persephone Hades myth. I want to do the same. I want to do something similar, but not with mythology. I've been really. I've just this quiet obsession in my mind for the last couple of years now to make a comedic graphic novel about the year without summer, and because there's so much potential for like a comedy, between Mary Shelley, Byron, Percy Shelley, and that other guy that wrote Vampire. I forgot what his name is, but it was like a really big, like really funny stuff happened there. Because Percy Shelley was always stressed. So there's like one point where Byron is like reciting poetry, and then Percy Shelley like starts going into having a fit where he sees visions, like locusts. Like in the middle of Byron reciting poetry, he's like he starts wailing off of random crap. It's just so much potential for hilarity there. But that's kind of my idea for something like this, my own rendition of that. And see. However, Zeus desired Dana and came to her in the form of a golden rain. A golden shower. I remember that one thing from Boondocks where I think I think it was R. Kelly, where he got arrested for giving this girl a golden shower, and then Grandpa was like, "I wish he'd give me a golden shower." Hey, I want a golden shower. It streamed in through the roof of her chamber and onto her lap, impregnating her. Soon after, Perseus was born. Upon discovering the child, Arceus was enraged and refused to believe that Zeus was the Perseus' father. However, he didn't want to provoke the wrath of the gods or Furies by killing the family. Yeah, you do not want to get the Furies on your butt. Instead, placed Dana and Perseus into a wooden chest. Oh, that makes sense. And cast him to the sea.
This sounds very familiar. This sounds very like almost Christian mixed with Moses.
Yeah, very, very familiar. There's a lot of stories about...
We don't want this baby. It's God's baby. Put it in the river.
There's a lot of stories about the families getting rid of their kids by dumping them someplace. Kind of what happened with Oedipus.
But not wanting them dead, but then like shipping them out or whatever. Didn't Arthur or something also have a story like that, or one of the Arthurian
I think
knights?
So. Yeah, because he was born of Uther and Igraine, and it wasn't like a good union either. It was like he disguised himself as her husband and slept with her. Or I don't think he disguised himself. I think it was Merlin who did it. The sea was calmed by Poseidon, and at the behest of Zeus, the pair survived. Let's see. Mythology. There it is. R. Kelly. R. Kelly. That's what it was. The same thing happened with Mordred, but except this time it was King Arthur and his half sister, Morgan Le Fay. Let's see. It was R. Kelly, the R. Kelly one. Oh heck, I want a golden shower. Let's see. Hephaestus, I'm still waiting for my order. Magic family tree, but I delivered it this morning. What? Oh, honey, home already.
Damn, son.
And that's the upgrade for Wonder Woman. This kind of gave her a larger sword and made her more edgy.
Biggest thighs in the world.
Yeah, big thighs save lives. Persephone, quick, call the Rhadamanthus. A monster escaped Tartarus. Persephone? Oh, it's like you're calling her a hoe? Oh, honey. I forgot oil was one of the underworld's treasures. That'd be really funny to see like America invading the underworld with the oil. Let's see. Alex got the 10 cheers. Now Arthur's mean saber is a housewife in Japan. Makes sense. What is this? Is this finishing off the butt? Like,
yeah, it's the sword. Remember,
the sword have to go down there. Yeah. Let's see. Solid JJ.
By the way, that reminds me of a story that I was reading homage to Catalonia, and there's a fight between the anarchists and the communists, and I don't think it was either Madrid or Barcelona, but I don't remember. But anyway, so they're in the barracks of the militia thing, and they need to take the rifles out of the barracks and transfer it to a different place that's more defensible. And so what they do is they stuff the rifles down their pants, and so all these men are going back and forth, walking with like a peg leg because they got the rifles. It's like a full Mauser down their pants.
That was awesome,
and it really happened too.
It's you're a fighting gigantic racist egg guy. This is awesome as well. Oh yeah, this is the Batman Wonder Woman chip. I think this happened during that episode.
I don't like that. I don't think that works. Sorry, that's just
Batman,
my opinion.
Yeah. People like it because of Justice League, but it's the only time I've ever seen it. Usually it's Batman and Wonder Woman. I mean, usually it's Superman and Wonder Woman.
What Wonder Woman being with Batman, it's like oil and water. They're like not. They should be oppositional. Batman should always be more like secretive and subversive, and Wonder Woman should always be more like, front loaded, like more presenting a political, like because Batman is a shadows guy. He's not a guy that steps out into the sun. He's vampiric.
Let's see. Now Arthur's is mean saber is a housewife in Japan. Dang, autocorrect turns it is. Yeah, she is a housewife in Japan. Here's empowered, by the way. Is I guess a later story. It gets pretty good.
I think Batman being in like fatalistic relationships with criminal women is way better, and I think that everybody's picked up on that. I think people, him and Catwoman, and like I can save her kind of thing, or I've got that death drive to be with a crazy bitch. Like all of the women that he's romantically interlinked with are crazy.
Catwoman is like the best one, I think. She was made to be his foil and love interest.
Yeah.
And so he started for the Academy, kind of forgot it. Betazoids are telepaths, not just because they could see in like what you're thinking. So she would like pass by Ferengi and see like they want to strip her naked. It's because they find the idea that women with clothes on is offensive. There's a reason I don't have a list of villains as long as Bruce's Barry or even yours. When I deal with them, I deal with them. As if that's a superior, wise way. People, remember, she's wise because she kills them, because she rehabilitates them. Well, she sends them to jail. I mean, how does she rehabilitate them that everyone else? How do the Amazons have this like weird knowledge that no one else has?
Yeah.
Without any explanation. How do they know all this like stuff that generations of farmers did not know about soil?
They gotta create more justification for that.
Like in what way could they build a school in a third world country that no one else can in the world?
Yeah.
Like what is all this? Anyway, chat. I'm going to close the stream for today. Thank you much everyone joining me. Thank you much Glib for joining me today. And thank you much Best Chat for always being Best Chat. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Again, of course, next time.
On a cold winter morning in the time before the light, in flames of death's eternal rain, we ride towards the fight. When the darkness has fallen down and the times are tough, alright, the sound of evil laughter falls around the world tonight. Couldn't keep it in, although heaven knows I tried. Conceal, don't feel, don't let them know. Well, now they know, so let me go. Let me go. Won't hold it back anymore. Let me go. through the